No Joe tonight. No Joe all week? Is that my understanding? That's a thumbs up in the back from Skaz. I don't like that. That's a thumbs down for me. Go a week without Joe? Is he moving around? Is he in the mornings later on this week? Mornings all week? I don't know.
Starting tomorrow, he'll be in the mornings.
We get the Joe experience in the morning, which is a hell of a way to wake up. Trust me. I have done that morning show with Joe Murray. It is a wild time, especially since breakfast starts in this building at 7 a.m. We have the cafe downstairs, which the man never knew about. It's not open during his show, which is a real tragedy. But we'll have Joe in the mornings all week. You'll have me tonight. Me abbreviated, very abbreviated tomorrow night. I believe Kendra on Thursday. I think Sean Silver back on Friday. Is that right? That's the schedule this week. That's we'll do what we can to fill the large shoes of Joe Murray. Size 16 shoes. Did find that out the other day. Don't ask me how that came up on Nesson. I have no idea. But yes, the man has large feet. Large feet. It's Matt McCarthy. We'll start off with this. Later on in the program, we have Keagan Stiefel who's going to come on from Boston's Enter the Chat. We're going to talk some Patriots with him. But we have a show announcement at 8 o'clock tonight. Now, this is this is really me taking the bull by the horns, walking in on somebody else's show and making a show announcement. A show announcement at 8 o'clock tonight, and I am beyond excited for this show announcement. I can't tell you anything more than that. Other than the show announcement occurs at 8, and it has to do with something later on in the program tonight. That's all I can say. When I said to Skaz, we're going to announce this at 9 o'clock tonight, Skaz said, I don't think I can wait that long, and I would agree with that. So a show announcement coming your way at 8 o'clock, you don't want to miss it, and you don't want to miss something, say, around 10 o'clock tonight. That's it. That's all I can say. And we'll get to you early and often at 617-779-0985. But big news coming your way at 8 o'clock here on The Joe Show. Plenty of big news coming out of Fenway Park earlier on today in regards to the injuries for the Red Sox. This is the story now with this team. We'll get to Drake May's rankings later on in the NFL Top 100. We'll do that. Bill Chisholm is speaking today. There's a lot to get to, but I do want to start with this. The injuries for the Red Sox, which to me is the number one story with this team right now, and how they're going to figure this all out. Everything with the Red Sox between now and the start of the playoffs is about the injuries. Who they're getting back, what they're going to get from those players that they do get back, and how those players are integrated into the team ahead of the playoffs. Because the Red Sox are going to the playoffs. I feel strongly about that. I think it's pretty obvious that they're going to the playoffs. Yet, even though I know this team is a playoff team, I don't know who their starting second baseman, shortstop, left fielder, DH, and number 4 starter are. Which is kind of crazy. For a team that I'm extraordinarily confident is going to the playoffs, that's a lot of holes they got to fill between now and then. And to me, that's what these next 6, 7, however many weeks of the season there are left in the regular season, that to me is what it's all about. They have so many spots to fill and figure out, and some of them may be filled pretty significantly. You know, if Roman Anthony comes back and is healthy, and early returns tonight in Portland are good. He's returning to the lineup for the Sea Dogs. He's 1 for 1 with a hit and a walk. So things look good for Roman Anthony so far. Trevor Story's in the lineup tonight in Syracuse for the Woo Sox. You will not be surprised to hear that Trevor Story is 0 for 1 with a strikeout. That is the Trevor Story experience. Isaiah Kiner-Falefa is going to be playing for the team this week as well in Worcester. So the Red Sox are getting reinforcements. And how they figure out who those reinforcements are and what they can give the team is the number one story between now and the beginning of the playoffs. And Chad Tracy had a ton of injury updates from earlier today that I do want to get to here because I think they're all significant. And I see on the phone lines, we'll get to you momentarily, 617-779-0985. To me, the good news is Roman Anthony's back and he's on his way back. I want him to be, by the time the playoffs roll around, their starting left fielder and their leadoff hitter. I don't want that to happen right away. I want them to ease him back into it. I want them to make him earn his spot. I think that would be good for Anthony. We talked about this a lot on the baseball hour. It doesn't feel like the Red Sox are going to force Trevor Story to earn his spot back in the lineup, to earn his job again. I do not like that, but I want them to do that with Roman Anthony. That's all good news. They need Roman Anthony. They also need Garrett Crochet, who feels to me like the forgotten man in all of this. Skaz, if we could, Chad Tracy was asked about Garrett Crochet. What is going on with last year's Cy Young runner-up and the man who was supposed to be the ace of this team?
I think it's back Garrett. Still at the 60 feet, or has he pushed beyond that?
I think he's still there, just continues to increase volume.
I don't know I think it was Alex Spear who asked the question. If not, I apologize. But the question was, is Crochet still throwing at only 60 feet? And Tracy says, yes. He's throwing at 60 feet and he's increased volume for whatever that's worth. It is August 18th. And Garrett Crochet, who's been on the shelf since, May at this point, with a shoulder injury, then a lat injury. Now it's back to a shoulder injury again. I mean, I guess it was always a shoulder, but he's strengthening the rotator cuff and has been strengthening the rotator cuff for quite some time. He's still only throwing at 60 feet. And I assume 60 feet off of a flat surface. Not up on the mound, 60 feet flat surface. That is still very much the beginning process of somebody like Crochet or any pitcher coming back. I'm beginning to question whether he'll be back at all. I mean, I've been questioning it all year, but I think there was a lot of recent ideas that Crochet would come back, and even if he can't get stretched out enough to be a starter by the time the playoffs roll around, that Crochet might be back and he might be in the bullpen and, being a weapon for you out of the bullpen in the playoffs. I'm questioning as to whether that's going to happen. It is August 18th. And he is only throwing from 60 feet while increasing volume. He hasn't even gotten on a mound yet, to my understanding. Maybe I missed it, but if we're talking 60 feet, that's just flat ground stuff. That's not good. And they need him. They need Garrett Crochet. I mean, I think, what you're seeing here is the Red Sox have 3 starting pitchers. Bennett, I don't know if you can count on at this point. They're skipping him this time through the rotation to try and give him, some rest. He's obviously hit, that young pitcher wall, the rookie wall. Right now, the Red Sox have Gray, Suarez, and Tolley. Sandoval's a bum. That guy's a hack. Bayo was good out of the bullpen again last night, but I don't think they have any interest in putting him back in the rotation. I understand why. You're getting at least something out of him in the bullpen. They do not trust him to go back into the rotation. I don't know why you would trust him to go back into the rotation. So if Garrett Crochet were able to come back, this team now needs it. They've been able to weather that storm all year long. The cracks are starting to show with the pitching. They are. So they need Garrett Crochet. Not to mention, too, they've now got big-time questions in their bullpen. If we could, Skaz, Tracy 3, the latest update on Slayton and Whitlock.
And then the other 2 guys, no structural damage found, ligament, flexor mass, none of that. Just exactly what we expected. There's some inflammation in there. So we basically are right where we thought we'd be there. Rest, make sure that both of them get the symptoms resolved and have full range of motion, and then we can resume. Pretty much what we expected to find. It was more precautionary, but good news there.
Okay, I hope he's right. I will believe it when I see it when it comes to the Red Sox and their injury updates. But if there's no structural damage for Whitlock or Slayton, that's good. Now, I don't know if Dr. Nick is reading those MRIs. I have no idea. But you'll take it for what it's worth. That's good news because they're going to need, especially Whitlock. They've got issues out in that bullpen now with the absence of Whitlock, with the absence of Slayton, with a starting rotation that really has 3 reliable guys at this point. You're having a bullpen game 4, bullpen day game 4, and game 5, Patrick Sandoval is going to get his teeth kicked in. So that puts a real strain and a real toll on your bullpen. They're going to need those guys back. So good news there at least, but I think once again, goes back to Garrett Crochet and him not being available. I can't believe they were able to weather the storm as long as they did. Now it's going to start to show up. It is going to start to show up over the course of the next month and a half between now and the playoffs. Once you get to the playoffs, you can get away with 3 starters, especially in the first round. You can get away with that. Just about everybody. Bullpen games, game 4 of playoff series at this point anyway. You really only need 3 starters in the playoffs in this day and age in baseball. But you got to get there. You got to get there first. And that's where they're definitely going to miss Garrett Crochet. And they have missed him. They haven't missed him as much as you thought all year long. Now it's finally going to show up. Real quick before I get to the calls at 617-779-0985, what's the latest with Australian Moonlight Graham, Chad Tracy? Number 4, please, Gaz.
Yeah, we're not there yet. I mean, he's he's in like a different kind of cast now where they can do a scan when it's necessary, but he's mostly still in stabilized mode and doing, he's running and doing catch play with like somebody catching the ball for him. So he's doing some other things to stay active, but nothing new to report there yet.
Where is he? Is he in Boston?
He had his baby.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Which is cool.
I haven't seen him.
Yeah.
Oh, congratulations to the Meade family. He's doing catch play though, which actually does sound like something you do with a toddler or a baby, like catch play. So that's obviously good news for the Meade family. We're very happy to hear that. Don't count on him. That would be my takeaway from that Chad Tracy update. Don't count on Curtis Meade. So how do you fix your middle infield? Because right now, I have no idea. You have no earthly idea, and I'm convinced the Red Sox have no idea either, who is going to be playing middle infield for them when game one of the playoffs rolls around. Will it be Trevor Story? We talked about that on the Baseball Hour. I don't feel good about that. I think they're going to hand it to him, but I don't feel good about that. Will it be Sogard? Will it be Monasterio? Will it be Siegler? Will it be Chang? Who is playing second base and who is playing shortstop for the Red Sox game 1 of the playoffs? We have no idea about that at this point. And that's what it's all going to be over the course of the next 6-7 weeks, figuring out who's going to be on your playoff roster and in your starting lineup when the playoffs roll around. 617-779-0985. Gino in the car to lead things off tonight. Hey, Gino.
What's up, Matt? Hope all is well. With Trevor Story, I don't understand how when you're like a serious baseball club executive, especially one that's competing for the playoffs, like how you can look at what he's given you this year and say this is something that's going to be beneficial for us in the long run and in the future. Like I would beg to say, like with a player with his performance that he's given minus the contract that he has, he would be optioned. So to me, this is just all about the contract. And if that's what you're doing this for, then you're not, I'm not going to say your heart's not into it, but you're not doing this for the true success of your baseball club. You're doing it to save face. That to me is just such a massive mistake. And I hope it doesn't come back to bite us because it certainly feels like it could.
I don't understand why Trevor Story is a protected class for the Red Sox and has been for the last 5 years. I think you're spot on with that, Gino. He has not earned it. He has not deserved it. And he's entitled. Trevor Story is entitled. You go back to the comments he made when Alex Cora was fired, basically demanding to speak to management. You haven't earned that. You're batting a $195. You got the manager fired. It was on you. But again, Trevor Story can't look inwards and say, maybe my play isn't good enough. He doesn't seem capable of doing that. Maz brought it up on the Baseball Hour, and it's so true. The comments Story made the second he walked into the organization, well, I'm going to play second base this year. Meaning, I'm going to come take Xander Bogaerts' job because I know Bogaerts is out the door. Like, he walked into the team and basically went up to the team captain and said, I'm going to take your job next year, and that's why I'm here. Entitlement. Trevor Story's comments about coming back this week, basically declaring before the team has even declared that he's coming back on Friday. 3 rehab games. 3. Trevor Story's missed 3 months and did not hit beforehand. And barely has hit in Boston at all. And he just waltzes out there and he's going to get his job back. I mean, I guess I'd act that way too if the team was going to allow me to do that. So, I mean, here I am, the man walking into Joe Murray's show and making a show announcement on Joe Murray's show. I guess that's a level of entitlement. I guess I just learned it from Trevor Story. That show announcement again coming your way at 8 o'clock tonight. Your thoughts as we continue. 617-779-0985. We're off and running. Skaz is here. Derek's here. McCarthy's here. You're here. We're hanging out with you on the Sports Hub.
More Joe Murray coming up on the Sports Hub.
I guess I need to talk, huh? It's like the whole thing where they play this and then you need to talk. I'll just play music for the rest of the night, Skaz. Why not? I'm sorry, I'm getting distracted. I'm watching Portland Sea Dogs baseball. Now, there's a Tuesday night. It's Matt McCarthy in for Joe Murray. We are on Roman watch. Is it a good night so far? He is 2 for 2. 2 for 2 with a walk. It's getting better. It's getting better every time for Roman Anthony. What has he done tonight? Roman Anthony has... Oh, he homered. Roman Anthony homered tonight. He has homered, and he has 1 second, singled. Homered, singled, walked. Yep, I think he's ready to go. Seems ready to go for me. There is such a difference between Anthony and Story, and Anthony and everybody else. I reject the idea that Trevor Story has some type of upside for this Red Sox team. Roman Anthony does. They need to add more offensive upside to this roster, to this lineup. Roman Anthony ideally will be your leadoff hitter and starting left fielder in game one of the playoffs. Trevor Story at that point should not be on the playoff roster. Andrew Monasterio is a better player. Nick Sogard's a better player. Sung-Chae Chang, because he can field the position at shortstop, is a better player. Story is a net negative for this roster. He's a net negative for this lineup because he swings and misses way too much. He might run into some every once in a while, and he might steal you a bag every once in a while. This team doesn't need more guys who can run. They have plenty of guys who can run, and what they need is guys who put their bat on the ball and don't strike out and move the runner over and are willing to play an unselfish brand of baseball. Trevor Story, who is entitled, is going to walk back into this team, expect his job at shortstop back. Again, the same man who walked into the building, declared on day one he was playing shortstop for 1 year with Xander Bogaerts, the team leader, standing right next to him, knowing that Bogaerts was going into a contract year, knowing the team was not going to sign Bogaerts because they had just signed Trevor Story and drafted Marcelo Meyer. Trevor Story walked in and said, "That's going to be my job," because that's who he is. And he's not a good enough baseball player to justify that. Anthony is. And that's a projection because he's only done it for a small period of time at the major league level, but this guy was the number one prospect in the game and let's remember how we felt about him just a year ago at this time, did feel like the future of the franchise. Now, are we putting too much on him? Yeah, we probably are. Is the team putting too much on Roman Anthony? Yes, of course they are. The reporting coming out that they, expect Anthony to be their leadoff hitter and, split time between left field and DH. Yeah, I'd prefer that they wait around. They let him earn it. They put him in. They bat him sixth in the lineup, and they, get him acclimated to the major league level and reduce some of the pressure that they put on him, obviously, at the beginning of the year. But it seems like they're just going to reintroduce him, and there you go. And a week from now, Roman Anthony will be your left fielder and leading off for you. And don't get me wrong, any solution that leads to Jarren Duran playing less is a good solution for me. I'm on board with that. I would just prefer that the Red Sox make him earn it. But man, how do you not look at what's going on in Portland tonight? 2 for 2 with a homer and a walk already, and he's just doing what he should to Double-A pitching, which is tearing it up. Anthony's your DH tonight. They'll probably try and get him out in the field, hopefully tomorrow. If we could, maybe Chad Tracy 5, Skaz on the updates on Roman Anthony and Trevor Story and what the plans are there. Instead of me saying it, I'll let Tracy say it. Here's the plan for Roman Anthony in the coming days.
Today he's playing for sure. Tomorrow is already scheduled as like a hybrid day where it's like possibly play, possibly not. We're just going to see like how does he, because he's going to have a full day of BP on the field. He's going to have his first game. Just see how he feels. There's still times where if he gets a little soreness, is it better to just take that day off and resume the next day? So it's best way I can put it is tomorrow is like a scheduled hybrid day. It could go either way. And then Trevor's scheduled today and tomorrow. And then Izzy starts tomorrow. I think he's scheduled Wednesday and Thursday.
There you have it. It's the plan with Roman Anthony. How do you feel about it? 617-779-0985. What's going on tonight, Skaz? How you doing? How do you feel about the Roman Anthony plan? How do you feel about Trevor Story? How do you feel about all of this?
I feel not great, Matt McCarthy, and I'll tell you why. Because I feel like the Boston Red Sox are almost in a position where I don't know, need is not the right word because I don't know if any baseball team at this point in history needs Trevor Story, but the Boston Red Sox are teetering on that. I know you get Nick Sogard with a leadoff single tonight, but he's a guy with, I believe, 0 home runs on the year. Not a lot of pop from these guys. And I like Monasterio. I think he's been good. I'm not just sliding Story in there, but Trevor Story at least has played in the playoffs before. Not exactly, David Ortiz, but had some hits, big home run a year ago. So I don't want to say the Red Sox need Trevor Story, but they certainly need more talent than they have now, and Trevor Story does add that.
I hate that because I don't think Trevor Story's that talented anymore.
Neither do I, but he's probably more talented than Nick Sogard.
He might be, but he's not going to play the brand of baseball that the Red Sox need. Like, Sogard hits for no power, you're right, but he's a switch hitter. He puts his bat on the ball. He fields any position in the infield. He is unselfish. He will lay down a bunt, and he will not do something that will hurt the team. Trevor Story will actively hurt the team because he swings and misses way too much, because he will make errors in the field, because his arm is shot, because he's, made of glass. Trevor Story will hurt the team. Roman Anthony won't. I mean, if Roman Anthony comes back and gives you what he gave you at the beginning of the year, that's no better or no worse than what Jarren Duran has given you. The Red Sox are a better team without Trevor Story, and they pretty much turned it around when Story and Meyer went on the injured list. Maz made this point, and it's so true. The second the Red Sox started getting better play in the middle infield was the second they started to turn it around. And Story is certainly a part of one of the reasons why they started to play better baseball. It was addition by subtraction, and I still believe in addition by subtraction when it comes to Trevor Story. I do not believe in that when it comes to Roman Anthony. Skaz, I am watching this home run that he hit in Portland over and over and over again. Have you seen this?
It's a borderline erotic experience, Matt McCarthy.
Oh my God.
Maybe I'll just remove the borderline erotic.
This is one of the, so this, guys, I spent a year calling games for the Sea Dogs. This may be, I don't know how far it went. This looks like one of the longest home runs I've ever personally seen at Hadlock Field. If you know Hadlock Field, the Sea Dogs clubhouse, although it may be a visitor clubhouse now, is in right center field beyond the what is essentially their version of the monster seats in right field. So they have, I think it's the pavilion up there. It looks like to be the Gifford Ice Cream Pavilion now.
He hit it out of the stadium.
He hit it completely out of the stadium and onto Fitzpatrick Field, which, if you know Portland, is where the Portland Hearts of Pine play. It's where high school football is played. It's where we used to go pick up firework remnants after firework shows on Friday and Saturday nights as Sea Dogs employees. This is a nuke. Oh my God. Oh my God. I'm watching it on a loop over and over and over again, and I can't believe how far this thing went. Jesus. Can we get some StatCast on this? I'm going to effort this.
108 off the bat, I'm being told.
108 off the bat. Was that the single he hit to left field? According to Tommy Castle, who's covering this.
Yeah, blame Derek for that one.
Derek. Unbelievable, Derek. Hey, get your facts straight there. Derek already misspelled Keagan Stiefel's name.
Oh, that one gives me fits, though. Hey, Keegan's got to figure that out.
Oh, no, I would agree. Keegan's name is a problem. He also goes K-E-A, not K-E-E. And then Stiefel, forget about it. I before E, F before Y, whatever the hell it is. Tommy Castle tweeting out the video. Not quite the 497-foot blast heard around Worcester last year, but pretty close for Roman Anthony. There's no way this home run isn't in the upper 400s. This is a nuke. A nuke. 617-779-0985. Yep, bring him back, boys. Bring him back. Skaz, I almost feel dirty talking about Roman Anthony's home run tonight. I can't explain any more details than that. More on that coming your way at 8 o'clock this evening as part of our show announcement here on The Joe Show. That's all I can say. But that is not a violation of anything. It's a minor league.
You think Roman Anthony could just play tomorrow night for the Sox?
Yeah, I think he probably could.
Do we really need to do this? He looks fine to me, Matt. Let's just get him up here.
Now, is that curveball a major league curveball? Probably not.
I would say almost definitely not.
No, you will not get away with. You do not get away with throwing that at the AA level, let alone the major league level. But Roman Anthony did what he should have done with it, which is punish that baseball. I keep talking about what he did to that baseball, but Skaz would have to drop me. It would be bad, and I would lose my job here. 617-779-0985. We will continue. Also want to get into the latest Drake May ranking. It's list season. It's still the summer. It's list season. And we will get to where Drake May ranks or where he doesn't rank coming your way next. You know I'm always happy to talk about May rankings, and we'll do that here on The Joe Show. It's McCarthy in for Joe.
Sports Hub headlines.
All right, Red Sox pouring it on right now. It's 3-0 in the first inning, bottom of the first. Jaron. All right, it's Matt McCarthy in for Joe Murray. 617-779-0985. I see you on the phone lines. We'll get to you in just a second. I did just want to get to this, though. The NFL Top 100 has been coming out. I think it's coming out day by day. I don't really know the pacing at which it comes out. But we have the top 16 players remaining to be announced. Coming in at number 18. And Drake May is nowhere to be found yet on this list, which means he is, according to his peers, NFL players, a top 16 player in the league. Coming in at number 18, Patrick Mahomes. As they write on the NFL's website, statistically speaking, Mahomes had his worst season since becoming chief starter in 2018, which is translated to his lowest ranking amid his 8th season on the list. However, the equity he's amassed within the NFL is evident as he lands in the top 20. Before he was sidelined with the torn ACL, Mahomes had already rushed for a career best in yards, touchdowns, and yards per game. He also eclipsed 3,500 passing yards for an incredible 8th consecutive year. And though his 6 QB wins were his lowest, it's notable the Chiefs were 0-3 when he didn't start, including losses to a pair of 3-win squads. So, according to NFL players, Patrick Mahomes is a lower-ranked quarterback than Drake May. Skaz, how do you feel about it? People know how I feel about Drake May. And I think he's been appropriately ranked by most NFL executives, which generally put him in the back half of the top 10 at his position, not across the league at his position, as, you know, roughly the 8th best quarterback in the NFL. What do you make of Patrick Mahomes being ranked behind Drake May by his peers around the NFL?
I think it's strong. Look, if you want to say you'd rather have Drake May for this upcoming season than Patrick Mahomes because of the injury, because of how Mahomes looked, because of the Patriots roster over the Chiefs roster on that side of the ball, like all those are fine. I mean, I think I probably would rather have Drake May for this upcoming season because of his health. But does that mean Drake May is better than Patrick Mahomes right now? I don't know if I'd go that far.
He's not. He's definitely not. And I think the players got this one wrong. Now, it's hard to rank a player coming off of a torn ACL. Like, where would you have ranked Tom Brady in 2009 coming off of a torn ACL? I get it. I understand it. That being said, I think I'm going to side with the executives and the coaches. You know, we've seen a number of those composite lists, those compiled lists from Jeremy Fowler, or who else had the recent coaches and executive lists? Fowler was one.
Is it Sando?
Mike Sando. Yeah, Mike Sando, the Athletic.
Yep.
Right. So you have, you know, coaches and executives around the league who submit their rankings, and then you compile those. And all right, well, this is the, you know, composite rankings of quarterbacks. And May, from coaches and executives, coaches in particular, ranked him lower than Mahomes consistently across the board. Mahomes was a top 4 quarterback on all of those lists. Right now, Mahomes is 18th in the NFL in the player top 100. I think the coaches and the executives have this one right. I think the players, I think, are a little bit reactionary. It's a little bit, what have you done for me lately? And yes, May did have a better year than Mahomes last year. Give me the track record of Mahomes. Until Mahomes got hurt, I was still terrified of the Chiefs last year, even though they had the worst season in the last decade that they've had, by far. I was still afraid because of Mahomes. I don't know, and this is unfair to Drake May because he does not have, obviously the track record and the history of the seasons under his belt that Mahomes has. But I don't feel that way about Drake May. If the Patriots come out and have get off to a bad start, if the Patriots are where the Chiefs were in week 10 of last year, I'm not going to say, well, I'm still, if I were an opposing fan, I would not say I'm terrified of the Patriots because of Drake May. I'm still terrified of the Chiefs because of Mahomes, because they're never dead with Mahomes, and that's because Mahomes has done it in the playoffs. And that's what if you've been listening at all over the summer, that's what I consistently hold against May, and it's one of the reasons I think the rankings, the executive and coaches rankings, pretty consistently have May where he should be, which is bottom of the top 10, 8, somewhere in that range. That's where May should be because of his playoff performance. Mahomes obviously has, his playoff performance is all time. It's not Brady, but it's very, very good. And May, in 4 playoff games, granted one season, was not good in any of the 4 playoff games that he played. And I do hold that against him. Mahomes has never had 4 playoff games like May had last year, and I just think that's why I would rank Mahomes still ahead of Drake May. That's how we judge quarterbacks. It's very simple. Who do you want? Who are you afraid of with 2 minutes left in a game in January? And Mahomes has the track record, so that's like comparing a guy with 10 years under his belt to 2 years under his belt. I get it. That's not exactly an apples to apples comparison, but Mahomes has been good in those spots, and May really was not very good in those spots, and was kind of carried by a defense who played 4 generally wretched quarterbacks. And it got to the point where May obviously could not outperform Sam Darnold, which was a concern of mine. But he did outperform C.J. Stroud, who threw 4 picks. He did outperform Justin Herbert, who stinks and should not be ranked ahead of May on any list. And he certainly outperformed Jarrett Stidham, who's a backup quarterback. So I don't know. I just hold playoff performance against quarterbacks, and I hold it against Drake May because that's how I've judged any quarterback. That's why I hold it against Josh Allen. That's why I hold it against Lamar Jackson. I'm not crazy about those quarterbacks either because they both suck in the playoffs, and May does too, or did. And that's unfair to say does because he's had 1 season of it. Give him a couple more chances, but the 4-game sample size, not great. Not what you're looking for. 617-779-0985. How about Matt in Leicester? Hey, Matt.
Well, good evening, and how are you tonight?
How you doing, Matt?
Great. I'm a lot older than you are, and I like listening to you, so I'm trying to help you.
Thank you. Matt, I need all the help I can get, my friend.
You need a little therapy here.
Okay.
Roman Anthony, who's bound to be on the IR, 10 games after he comes up to Boston, needs a little more time before he comes up. I think he needs like 10 games in the minors to get his real swing. And it's great that he got off to a good start tonight, but we don't know what kind of pitching he's facing down there, and I think he needs more. And then I hope he gets off to a good start because before whenever they play again, I don't think they'll play next year, but the year after, I'd like to see him have had a good stretch so they can trade him and get something for him because he's never going to be – he's so brittle. He just seems so brittle. And I don't know if it's mental or physical. I think it might be physical in his case. But it just sounds like I hate to see you get so enthusiastic and then come crashing down and get so depressed when he comes up and isn't what I'm afraid you think he is.
Well, I appreciate that, Matt. Thank you for the call. I would say I generally don't get wrapped up in the prospect rankings, the prospect game. I've spent some of my career in minor league baseball, covering minor league baseball. So trust me, I've seen guys who I thought were going to be great who have flamed out. So I do know that there is no guarantee with any of these guys, which is why I'm generally on board with trading the vast majority of them. I'm making a projection on Anthony that he is special because offensively, I do think he has the ceiling to be special. I never felt that way about Marcelo Meyer. And if you want to really talk about brittle, Meyer had injury concerns all throughout the minors. Anthony did not. him having 2 injuries in the last year was not the experience that we saw from Roman Anthony in the minor leagues. That doesn't mean that he isn't breaking down. Whatever it is, you may be right about that. He just has a higher offensive ceiling than anybody on this team. Anybody. And I'll take my chances with it. And you say he needs 10 days down there because you're not sure what type of pitching he's facing. I would actually say that's why he needs less time. The pitch he hit out tonight and hit about 500 feet was a terrible pitch. It was a cement mixer, slider, sweeper, breaking ball, whatever it was. I can't even identify it. It was that bad. He needs 5 games max, a week, whatever it is.
Let's keep him down there for a month so we can trade him next year, McCarthy. I like that take.
No, I'm trying.
It's the first time I've heard that one.
I'm trying to help the 2026 Red Sox, and they need help in their lineup, and Anthony can help them in their lineup.
That caller was trying to help the 2037 Red Sox, I think, was what he was trying to do with that call.
Yeah.
We're not playing baseball next year, and the year after that, I'd like Roman Anthony to start hot so we can trade him. No, that's optimistic, very optimistic.
I can't say I agree with that. I understand the pump the brakes, though. You want to say pump the brakes, that's fine. That's very reasonable. I'm not trading Roman Anthony because he can help the Red Sox right now. Now, if you had said you could have traded Roman Anthony at the deadline for Yordan Alvarez or Bobby Witt, all right, yeah, let's talk. Let's talk about that because I know what I'm getting. I hope Roman Anthony someday is Yordan Alvarez. He might be Yordan Alvarez. He has that type of ceiling and that type of potential, and that is not something I generally say about too many prospects. That's how special I do think he can be. Most prospects never turn out to be that, but the occasional ones do, and Anthony does project to have that type of upside. You want to trade him for the sure thing? I'm on board with that. Count me in on that, but obviously that ship has sailed, and this team needs him now. You want to see how he responds tomorrow? That's fine. You want to have him play 3 games in Portland, go to Syracuse over the weekend? Anthony needs to be up by this time next week. I truly believe that, and sooner than that. They have days off in the minor leagues on Monday. Red Sox play the Giants this weekend. I'd like to see him this weekend against the Giants, but if not this weekend against the Giants, then early next week. How about Lucas in Norfolk? Hey, Lucas.
Hey, how you doing? I know we're talking Drake May and Patrick Mahomes. Now, everyone's saying, what have you done for me lately? But we go back, let's just say 1 extra year, 2024, 2025, compare them. Mm-hmm. This year, Mahomes, trash, right? 5 and 14 over. And then last year, Mahomes was a Super Bowl winner, right? And I'm a Patriots fan, born and bred. But if Drake May won the Super Bowl this year, let's compare them, right? But right now, it's just, we got to wait. He's not at that level yet. I'll talk to you.
All right. See you, Lucas. I would tend to agree with that. He's not at that level yet. He had a great year. A great year. I just do wonder, and I think Patriots fans should instead of being defensive about the rankings that they're seeing from May, where coaches and executives are consistently ranking him in the bottom of the top 10. And listen, some of the quarterbacks ranked ahead of May, I would never rank ahead of him. Be it Justin Herbert, I would never do that. I'm not crazy about Lamar at this point. I know Lamar has a track record. I think he's very much trending in the wrong direction. I also hold his playoff performance against him. I'm betting on a bounce back from Mahomes. So, I guess you could say, betting on a guy coming off an injury. Sure, that's undeniably a factor. But I would just be cautious as a Patriots fan and not expect too much from May this year. Like, do not expect him to repeat as an MVP candidate. His schedule is going to be harder. And this is something I hear from a lot of Patriots fans defending his playoff performance, because trust me, I hear from you a lot, a ton, that he played really good defenses in the playoffs. And you're right, he did. Well, in the NFL, sometimes you have to play tough teams. It happens. And we eventually need to judge you against tough teams. Maybe you don't want to judge May against tough teams and only judge him against the trash he played in the regular season. I guess that's your prerogative if you feel that way. But he's going to play a tougher schedule this year. Now, he's going to have a better team around him, which is good. The team did exactly what they were supposed to. They went out and improved. They improved the offensive line, I think. They improved the skill positions, obviously significantly, with Brown and Dobbs. So, May should be able to perform better against better competition. Because you're right when you say his line was not good in the playoffs. It was not. You're right when you say he didn't have enough at the skill positions. I don't think he had nothing to work with there, but he did not have the 2007 Patriots. He did not have Moss, Welker, Gaffney, and Stallworth. He did not have that. And please don't forget Ben Watson as part of that. Kevin Falk out there. You name it. He did not have that skill position. It was not the greatest show on turf. They were all right, but it was nothing special. This year is better. This year is significantly better, and as a result, May should perform better against better teams. I still think it's going to even out. I think the Patriots' record is going to be worse. I don't think he's going to be an MVP candidate because the team came out of nowhere. I think statistically he'll be worse. Hopefully he's a better quarterback. Hopefully he's better in big moments. Hopefully he doesn't fumble 7 times in 4 playoff games. Hopefully he doesn't do that. Hopefully the turnovers are better, fixed. He holds on to the ball more. That would be a sign of growth for me. Statistically, I don't need to see growth from Drake May. MVP voting, I don't need to see growth there from Drake May. I need to see growth in big moments. And that's why I don't have him ranked as high as Mahomes, and that's why I think most executives don't have him ranked as high as Mahomes. Players do. Executives and coaches and me, I guess, we do not. 617-779-0985. You ready, Skaz? Fired up? We have a show announcement coming your way just after the top of the hour. I will say that longtime fans of the night show will probably be happy with this announcement. We will do that next.
You're listening to Joe Murray on 98.5. It's the Sports Hub.
In for Joe Murray, 617-779-0985. I'm in the YouTube chat as well. We did say we're going to be talking about a brand new segment. That's what it said on the YouTube chat. Not quite. Not quite. More on that in a second. If you've been... this is the long, drawn-out show announcement. Douse me in gasoline and light me on fire. God, when did I say that? I mean, I wish you would, please. As you know, last week on Friday, we shared the news that we lost our great friend, amazing colleague, Jeremy Connolly, who passed away at the age of 41 after a brief illness. And Jeremy was familiar to many of you on the night show. If you've been listening to the night show for a long time, you know Jeremy's work. He was the executive producer of the Adam Jones Show. Thank you, Sarge. Much appreciated. He was the executive producer of the Joe Show before Jeremy moved on to take over Bruins and Celtics and Patriots.
Give me another dong!
Broadcast. Thank you, Joe, very much. Dongs, huh?
19 dongs, like you said.
Homers, babies? Homers?
Sports Up Headlines brought to you by the T-Gas. Prices got you down.
Every single one of these cuts was discovered and cut up and saved by Jeremy Connolly.
Mitch Connor, just your run-of-the-mill con man. I've been moving from town to town, scamming people since I was 15. But I'm tired of running.
And played every single night at 10:50.
This one's for you, Al.
No. This one's for you, Jeremy Connolly. Every night at 10:50 on this night show, we did what I believe to be the greatest recurring segment in 98.5 The Sports Hub history. We no longer do it at night, and the reason we no longer do it at night is because Jeremy moved on from the night show. Jeremy moved on to produce the Bruins, the Patriots, and the Celtics, and Joe was taking over at about the same time. So I guess it just made sense at that time to let that segment kind of fade away into history and be remembered by those who listened every night and enjoyed it every night and loved the segment every night.
Maka, his whole wise way to say Merry Christmas to you.
And we would play this crap every single night, and it delivered every single night.
How much time left? I don't know how much time we got left. 7 minutes or 2?
Thank you, Sarge. Much appreciated. And, man, have I been thinking about it for the last 3 or 4 or 5 days as we've been missing Jeremy. And we once called him the curator of the dongs because he was instrumental and was the reason, essentially, the Dong Report became what it was. And in his honor, Skaz, we talked about this earlier tonight. We decided that there's only one true way to honor the late, great Jeremy Connolly. For one night only, tonight at 10 o'clock, the Dong Report returns.
Do you want to see me suck a few dingers?
Dingers! Dingers!
Dong, dong, home runs!
Yes! It's back, baby! The Dong Report tonight at 10. I wish we still went to midnight because the best part about the Dong Report is if you did it at 10:50, you would get West Coast games in the swing. West Coast games will just be beginning there. So we are probably limiting the potential for late breakers. But if there's a late breaker out there, I know our friend Jeremy Connolly will be waving it home. I mean, like angels in the outfield, baby. He will be making sure that thing goes and crosses the fence, gets out of the ballpark, so we have some late breakers tonight. Skaz, tonight, 10 o'clock, the Dong Report, one night only, is back on the night show. I am so nervous because I don't want to screw this up. I don't know if you feel the same way, but like we can't tarnish Jeremy's legacy. We can't do this.
I think that's exactly what we're going to do, Matt McCarthy. I think, we're going to screw this up. It's been years. We're rusty, but that is the Dong Report. We have a plethora of Dong drops to get to, and we're going to abuse them. We're going to play them all.
How many Dong drops do you think we have in that folder from years and years that Jeremy curated, cuts for the Dong Report? How many do you think we have in there? Hundreds.
Countless. Hundreds and hundreds.
A little bit of a nice stretch with his college basketball tonight.
So, yes, some names, some voices we probably won't hear tonight, but, there are countless in there.
Why do we need... We could play Jones and Arcan.
I think we can, too.
If I don't get an Astros tonight, excuse me, if I don't get that, then we will not have done the Dong Report right. So this is, I will say, a call to everybody who used to participate in the Dong Report. We had Hannah Montana Dong Report. We had the people who would send in the information about the states and 50 nifty United States. We will be doing the Dong Report. The Hannah Report. That's what we called it, the Hannah Report.
50 nifty United States from 13 original colonies. 15.
And I will not spoil the Dong Report. I will not do it. I vow to you this. Now, we've already established, talking about Roman Anthony's home run counts, or doesn't count. It's not a spoil. That's not a major league home run. The purpose of the Dong Report is we talk about everything that's happened in Major League Baseball. So from here until the end of the night, there will be no mention of home runs. No! Oh, I hope we get that. I just had a Pavlovian response to that. A late-breaking dong. It's coming your way.
Makes me feel.
Yes, it does. Do you know how rusty I'm going to be just on the format in general, but the numbers? You would do this all summer long, and you'd be like, oh, well, that's a Sammy Morris 34. Like, you'd be digging in there.
You're out.
That's a Tebucky Jones. Tebucky Jones was 34, right? I used to be so good with these numbers. I'm not good with sports numbers anymore because I don't do the Dong Report anymore.
Who the hell is Tucker Silva?
He is was a producer here at the station, Fred. There are so many good cuts there. And
McIntyre rubbed out hard behind the net.
Oh, no. Dirty Judd. We shouldn't be doing that. What is it with hockey people? They're phrasing.
We need that guy to be kick riding the balls. Come on in, Draymond.
Get a little Leon Poe. Wrap this thing up. Some people are saying in this segment right now, wrap it up. No, I will not. I will not. And I hope
Barth may inadvertently gave us some dong drops today too.
Hassan Haskins.
It was yesterday.
Greg Van Roten.
Yeah, oh yeah, no, he
Jacob Rizzi.
Those are just names.
That's just Barth.
Just making up names, not real human beings. The Dong Report returns tonight at 10 o'clock. Derek is not familiar with the Dong Report. Is that my understanding?
Keep listening to your show because, after all, I am in St. Louis and I like the Dong Report.
Derek is unfamiliar. We are teaching him the ways of the dongs right now. He's got StatCast up. He's hard at work.
That's good. All right, so Skaz, we need to remember the format, and I would encourage anybody in the YouTube chat or to tweet at us at Matt McCarthy 98.5 at what, J Skaz? What are you on Twitter?
JJ Skaz, I believe.
JJ Skaz on Twitter. Anybody who, if we're missing something here, you let us know. Here's how the format works for Derek. You read the name of the game. Skaz plays the drop. You say who homered in the game. If there's any dong data or dong stats to go with it, such as this is a career home run. This for this guy, it's a impactful, monumental home run, or obviously the long dong of the night. We can sound the long dong gong. So stuff like that. With the StatCast era, we'll take dong data. Miss that thing, baby.
I mean, I went on this website. It's called Google.
I can't wait. Cannot wait. Everybody in the YouTube chat, very excited. Jeff Williams in there. That alarm just made it move. Yes, it did. Yes, it did. It's not going to be the same without Jeremy. No, it won't.
No, the drop work will be very amateur compared to the great Jeremy Conley, but we will be firing away at will.
It's really the whole purpose of it. So Cunha playing right now. We got a Hakuna Matata. We need a Mitch home run tonight. A Boba Fett sound effect. So many good ones. Goldschmidt. So many good dongs. So many good drops. And that comes your way tonight at 10 o'clock. So do not miss it. That is the show announcement. The Dong Report returns for one night only at 10 o'clock tonight. Get your numbers ready. Get ready to tweet in at Matt McCarthy 98.5, and we can't wait to talk dongs with you. There are dongs out there, Skaz. I am ready to receive the grand dong.
You think Jones is a dick?
No, I don't.
Yeah, I don't either.
I think there's dicky qualities.
My mother once thought this was called the Bong Report.
Well, maybe with Joe Murray and me it should be, but maybe that's a segment we could work on there, Matt McCarthy. I don't hate that for Mrs. McCarthy.
The Dong Report returns for one night. The Bong Report begins tomorrow.
We might have some there. Well, we got to wait for next week for Joe to return, yeah.
Monday, the debut of the Bong Report, the Dong Report tonight at 10 o'clock. Get your dong data ready. 617-779-0985. That's the show announcement. We can't wait to do it later on tonight. We'll continue. It's McCarthy in for Joe on the Joe Show.
Right. So, the first contestant went first.
The listeners and just about everybody over our announcement a few minutes ago that the Dong Report will return tonight for one night only at 10 o'clock in honor of Jeremy Conley. That makes me very happy. Yeah, no, you beat the Oregon Ducks? Great.
Whoa.
That remains the only F-bomb I've dropped on the air in my close to 15 years here at the station. I don't know how, because you get me off the air and it's every other word I say. It's remarkable. Really is. 617-779-0985. Skaz and intern Derek are hard at work back there. Now, you do know, I think, Derek, I just saw you drop something into Slack. I cannot see how many home runs there are tonight. That has to be a surprise. I used to promise Jeremy back in the day that we would have a bountiful night of dongs, and then he would give me a paper that had 16 dongs and, 15 games.
You were, I don't want to say banned from the Dong Report for a time, but I think that's correct.
I was. I went to dong jail one night. It's there.
Felt much longer than one night, I'll be honest with you.
Well, it was the Great Dong Wars of 2022, as we called it. I did.
You were anti-dong.
No, I was anti-Jeremy, which, looking back on it, feels like a bad decision.
I mean, no one enjoyed someone being anti-Jeremy more than Jeremy.
Which is what made it fun and what made it enjoyable. So, yes, I did accidentally spoil the Dong Report one night. Jeremy called me out for it, and I was like, you know what? Screw it. I don't like that you're preventing me from talking about this. And I immediately listed about half the home runs that had been hit in Major League Baseball that night and was promptly banned from the Dong Report for that evening. I was put into Dong timeout, Dong jail. And, it was a good night to spend in jail. That's for sure. Damn, I missed that guy. 617-779-0985. So we got that coming your way at 10 o'clock. Patriots missing Christian Gonzalez right now. You getting worried, Skaz? I'm starting to get a little worried.
A little worried? We get to the end of this week, I think I'll be a capital W worried.
Now, lowercase W.
Lowercase W.
How about just one U? Like not W, just like one U. I'm kind of at the one U right now. I might go to W, lowercase W, towards the end of the week. And then if we get to Monday, as Alex Barth talked about earlier today on Felger Maz, and he's spot on about this. You get to Monday after joint practices, after the Eagles preseason game, which really at that point it is, go time for the starters to get ready for the regular season opener in Seattle. You get to Monday, this thing is not resolved. I am capital W, capital O-R-R-I-E-D, worried. With an exclamation point on the end of it. This should not take more than a week. It should take less than a week. We know what the market is. Witherspoon has set the market. I was told not to worry until Witherspoon signs. I pretty much agreed with that, and I went along with it. I said, I'm not going to worry about this until Witherspoon signs. Witherspoon's going to sign first, then we know the market, and now it gets done. Okay, well, Witherspoon has signed. We know the market, and it's not done yet. Now, it happened over the weekend. It's Tuesday. Give him a few days. But really, what is there to iron out? You either pay him or you don't. I mean, I don't think there's much ambiguity here. This is, there's not a lot of gray. There's a lot of black and white. This is pretty obvious. Witherspoon got $101 million guaranteed, about 60 at signing, just shy of 60 at signing. Gonzalez needs to get 60 at signing and more than $101 million guaranteed. AAV is probably going to be in the 34 to 35 range. But, some of that's fake money. It's about the real money. What are you getting guaranteed at signing? And Witherspoon pretty significantly reset the market there. Very significantly reset the market there in regards to what was guaranteed at signing. And I do wonder if the Patriots were not necessarily planning on that. And if there's one thing I know the Patriots do not want to do, it's hand a player a whole bunch of money in a signing bonus. They're happy to do it in per-game roster bonuses. They're sometimes happy to guarantee it over the course of the length of the contract. What are you getting day one? What are you backing up the Brinks truck for the player on day one? And that is undeniably going to be a factor here. It's not necessarily what you get paid. That's a factor. But it's also how you get paid. And the Patriots it's already hard enough to get them to pay you in the first place. It's even harder to get them to pay you when you want on your terms, not their terms. They're going to pay you on their terms. They're going to not give it to you in the form of a signing bonus, and that's what Gonzalez probably wants, and the market indicates that he deserves. So I am starting to get a little worried about this. I don't know how you couldn't get a little bit worried about this, just based on their history. If this were another team around the NFL, I'd say it'll get done. With the Patriots, I'd say I think it will get done. But given how they negotiated publicly, Gonzalez then didn't, then posted the Instagram story on the night of skipping joint practices, it feels to me that they are not as close as we would want them to be. If that deal is close, last Tuesday, a week from today, a week ago today, if the deal were close, Gonzalez is not posting that on social media. He's not. He's not doing anything that would upset the apple cart. The agent is saying, listen, man, don't post anything on social media. Witherspoon's about to get done. We're close. Because remember, the agent is Witherspoon's agent. He knows what Witherspoon was about to get from Seattle. He knows the state of that negotiation. And he also knows the state of Gonzalez in negotiations. So Gonzalez was very well aware of how things were going with Witherspoon and where that and how that affects him. So now that that deal is done and it's out in the open, Gonzalez and the Patriots know what he's worth. And if that's not done relatively shortly, I will start to get worried. Now, you may make the argument that maybe Gonzalez is asking for too much. I think we need to ask ourselves how much is too much. You know, for any of us, and I hear a lot of calls from people saying, well, he should, he's under contract. He should respect the contract. Well, A, that's not the way it works in the NFL. Money isn't guaranteed. You finish up your third year. If you're one of the star players at your position, you get paid going into your fourth year. It's just the way it works. There are a lot of people saying, well, how much is too much money? Well, the answer is never enough. And you would feel the exact same way. Like, I mean, come on. 98% of people out there will take the most money. They will fight for the most money. That's the way it is. You might say, all right, well, what's the difference between 100 million guaranteed and 105 million guaranteed? The difference is respect. Money is respect in the sports world. It's, all right, we are paying you as if you are the best. Now, you might also make the argument that Gonzalez isn't the best, and you might be right. You might not be the best. Witherspoon might be a better player. We could have a debate about that. I think Gonzalez is better, but if you wanted to call in and say, McCarthy, Witherspoon's better, I'm willing to listen to that argument. That is not crazy. That's not absurd. That being said, you get paid in the NFL when your time is up to get paid, and you reset the market whether you're better than the player who signed before you or not. It's a simple matter of timing. It's basically contract inflation on every single one of the players. Is Gonzalez better than Surtain? No. Is Gonzalez going to get paid more than Surtain because his contract is coming up a year later than Surtain? Yes. Yes, it will. Is Gonzalez better than Stingley? I don't think so. I'd take Stingley over him. But Stingley got paid last year. Gonzalez is getting paid this year, which is why you hear the reporting from Tommy Curran that Gonzalez wants to get paid as if he's on the market next year, not this year. That I reject. That I think is not right. And Gonzalez should not be paid as if it's 2027 instead of 2026. This is the way it works around the NFL. The same way I'd say that Gonzalez should get paid because he's coming off of year 3 and into year 4, and that's when you get paid as a star player. I would also say you get paid when you get paid, and you get paid based on the market when you get paid, not the year after when you get paid. You want to make that argument? Fine. That argument's going to fall on deaf ears with me. Gonzalez is worth what he's worth in 2026, not in 2027. And because he is signing after Witherspoon, he is worth more than Witherspoon. Witherspoon might be a better player. Again, I don't feel that way. You might feel that way. But because Gonzalez is signing after, he will reset the market, even if it's small, compared to Witherspoon. It's the way it works around the league. You set the benchmark, the benchmark is surpassed by the next guy. If he's in the same class. Doesn't have to be better than you, so long he just has to be in the same class. So we'll see if it gets done. We'll see if it gets done here shortly. But to me, it's pretty obvious. 60 plus million guaranteed, somewhere north of 101. So maybe that's 105. An extra million guaranteed per year over the course of 4 years. That's how this deal is going to get done, if it gets done. And my question to you would be this at 617-779-0985. How much is too much for Gonzalez to ask for? At what point does it become Gonzalez's fault? Because right now, I think it's the Patriots' fault. It generally is with contracts. They have a long and documented history. Until I see something and are proven otherwise, the Patriots are generally at fault when it comes to contract negotiations. It's their way of doing business. How much money is too much money for Gonzalez to ask for to the point where you say, okay, he's actually in the wrong? I'll give you my answer coming up, 617-779-0985. We'll continue. It's Matt McCarthy in for Joe Murray. Here on The Joe Show, we got In or Out, McCarthy's Musings, and the Dong Report's one-night return at 10 o'clock. We'll continue.
Sports Hub headlines.
All right, the Red Sox battling back in this game. They now lead Gonzalez to ask for it. Like, I think Gonzalez is the good guy in this negotiation. When does he become the bad guy? Do you have a number in mind, Skaz, where you start to say Gonzalez becomes the party in the wrong here? It's hard to feel like the Patriots are the party in the right, given their long and documented history and the way they approach contract negotiations. Like, I think all of us rightfully come at this and say, well, the Patriots are busting Gonzalez's balls over the contract. They're the reason this isn't done yet. You know what the market is. At what point, though, do we say maybe it's Gonzalez? Is there a number that comes to mind, or is there a scenario that comes to mind where I think some of that blame shifts to Gonzalez's camp?
For me, I don't know if there is, a set number. It seems like, they're kind of fighting over the guaranteed, maybe, some clauses in there with injuries and stuff like that from what we've, learned and heard over the last couple days since Witherspoon has signed. I think the Patriots don't have an excuse on this one. I heard Barth talking a little bit earlier today, and I think it's a really good point that's, I don't want to say flown under the radar of this, but however much power you feel Elliott Wolf has, his mantra since he took over for the Patriots was draft and develop, and kind of, crapped all over the Patriots drafting, as I would imagine most fans have at the end of the Belichick era. And then you finally draft a guy in Christian Gonzalez who is, if you don't think he's the best corner in the league, he's certainly top 5. And how that business works in that league is he gets paid. It does not matter. And with that position, you've seen Trent McDuffie, Sauce Gardner, countless other names get paid and also be able to be traded. There is no hindrance to Christian Gonzalez's value if you actually pay the man. That's what happens in that league. So I think the Patriots have kind of backed themselves into a corner here where, oh no, you actually drafted a talented guy. Heaven forbid, I don't know, you have to pay him what he's worth now, because I'm sorry to Patriots fans that want to defend ownership in their pockets for some reason, but it doesn't matter what you think Christian Gonzalez is worth. He's worth what the market dictates, and the market has dictated that he's getting $100+ million guaranteed.
So, and that's why if he wants to be paid as the top corner, the Patriots are in the wrong. They have to get it done. The Patriots are the reason this won't happen, if it does not happen, and the Patriots will be at fault. If Gonzalez wants to be paid like a wide receiver or an edge rusher, a pass rusher, as we've heard a number of times, it's like, well, he doesn't want to be paid like a corner. He wants to be paid, among the top, impactful defensive players. He wants to be paid like Micah Parsons. No. That's not how it works. The same way I'd say, the reporting from Tommy Curran that Gonzalez wants to be paid as if it's 2027 and not 2026. No, that's not the way it works. The way it works is you get paid at the top of your position when it is your time to get paid, which is for all of these players after the 3rd year of their rookie contract. If you are in that class, in that category, you go into camp year 4, you kind of do a hold in, hold out, whatever it may be, and then you get paid. That's the way it happens, and then you reset the market. And if you don't get paid there, you get paid somewhere else because you generally get traded. I suppose, guys eventually get franchise tagged, but that is an increasingly rare occurrence around the NFL. It does not happen, as much in situations like this. All of these corners have gotten paid. Stingley, Sauce Gardner, Witherspoon, Ward, you name it. And Gonzalez will get paid here or somewhere else because that's what the market dictates he's worth. There really isn't that much negotiation or debate that needs to happen. He resets the market. Witherspoon got 101 guaranteed. He got close to 60 at signing, so Gonzalez gets north of 60 at signing and north of 101 guaranteed by, a few million here or there, whatever percentage it ultimately comes down to. Witherspoon ultimately reset the market by 18%, which was a relatively significant jump, the type of jump you don't necessarily see. From year to year at the position. Generally, the guaranteed at signing numbers are a little bit smaller, percentage-wise, when we're talking increases. Well, that's not necessarily the case. Seattle caved, gave Witherspoon what he wanted, so now the Patriots need to follow suit, and they need to reset the market with Gonzalez, and they will be in the wrong if it does not happen. The only way Gonzalez is in the wrong in this is if he's asking to be paid like a different position or asking to be paid like it's 2027. No, that's not the way it works. You get paid when you get paid for the position that you play. And that's that. So, if you're a Patriots fan who, thinks Gonzalez isn't worth it, okay, you might have an argument to make, but he's worth it because that's what the market says he's worth. You might not want to pay that. All right, then tap out. He's going to get paid that somewhere else. You can say you don't want to pay the player that for whatever reason, but you can't say he's not worth it because that's what the market says. I mean, I could sell my house tomorrow and based on what I paid for it 5 years ago and what it's worth now, I would never pay what I paid for my house 5 years ago. However, my house is worth that. You know why? Because somebody else will pay that. And that's the situation with Christian Gonzalez. You think you don't want to pay him $35 million a year, $105 million guaranteed? That's fine. But he's worth it. He's worth that because somebody else is willing to pay. It's not what you're willing to pay. It's what somebody else is willing to pay. 617-779-0985. The latest on the Gonzalez situation. Let's go in or out here on the Joe Show. We'll do that next.
What's it gonna be, McFly? Are you in or out? In or out? Gotta know without a doubt. I'm the one you need for a dirty deed. I'm the best. Success is guaranteed.
Show not as long a nighttime staple as the Dong Report, which does make its triumphant return for one night only at 10 o'clock tonight in honor of the great Jeremy Connolly. But we continue with In or Out. It's Matt McCarthy in for Joe Murray. What do we have tonight, Skaz? What's going on?
All right, Matt McCarthy, Tuesday, August 18th edition of In or Out. Let's start with some food. Why not? It's the night show. Subway is launching new Doritos Hot Honey Nachos. Are we in or out on Doritos Hot Honey Nachos at Subway?
Out on Subway, out on Doritos, in on nachos, but not in on hot. Out on hot, in on honey. I think that's like 4 outs, 2 ins. That's strong out on this. Very strong out. I don't know what else you want me to say about it. This is not what I want, not what I need.
No, I don't think anybody really needs this. It's going to be a strong out on the Subway Doritos nachos.
Now, how am I supposed to lose weight at Subway eating like that?
Well,
how's that going to happen?
Didn't work out too well for that guy. So,
oh yeah, he was a bad guy, wasn't he?
Bad guy,
like really bad,
really bad. Yes.
Not like
maybe the worst. You can be.
Yeah, one of the worst. Yeah,
one of
easily one of the worst. Out on that. You know what, Skaz? Out on pedophilia. It was that, right? It was that type of situation.
It's brave of you, McCarthy. Very brave.
Well, I'm taking a brave stand. I mean, I've thought about this for a while. I've decided to. You heard it here first. Matt McCarthy, out on pedophiles. I don't like him. I've given that some thought. I know that might be harsh, but I don't like him.
I think that's a stance we can all take.
I would hope so.
Let's head from the world of Subway to the world of BuzzBalls. Are you familiar with the alcoholic beverage BuzzBalls, Matt McCarthy?
No, but I can get my balls buzzed.
They come in little spherical shapes. You'll see them at the liquor store. But BuzzBalls are releasing...
Hold on. How spherical?
The most.
How spherical are these balls?
I would say pretty spherical, Matt McCarthy. There's a picture in Slack if you need it.
Hold on one second.
Of said BuzzBalls. But BuzzBall is teaming up with Pop-Tarts to release 2 new Pop-Tart flavored cocktails, Frosted S'mores and Frosted Brown Sugar Cinnamon. Matt McCarthy, are you in or out on Pop-Tart flavored BuzzBalls?
I feel like I should be out. I'm not 20 years old anymore.
A lot of sugar.
However,
a lot of sugar.
I love me some sugar. I might be in. I very much might be in. Now, I'm not a Pop-Tarts guy, to be totally honest. I don't know why. I didn't grow up with Pop-Tarts. I feel like that's something a lot of people grew up with. It was one of the few things my mom was out on. She was kind of a very, whatever. Laissez-faire when it came to a lot of stuff like, but we didn't have Pop-Tarts in the house. It was like a weird thing. It's like her war on Pop-Tarts and her war on cable. There was a war on cable at one point. Remember losing Red Sox games as a kid? I was very upset. Then there was still cable coming into the house. I believe it was being stolen, which was good. Watched Hideo Nomo throw a no-hitter on stolen cable. It was great. It was awesome. But I think I'm out. I think I'm out. I want to be out, but I'm probably in. I probably would be in. A 35-year-old man should not be in on this. But s'mores flavored alcohol?
You'll try it.
Sign me up.
You got to give it a try.
I'm an open-minded kind of guy, Skaz.
Of course.
In.
Speaking of crossovers, our good friends over at Dunkin' Donuts are teaming up with our friends over at Febreze to release 3 new sprays for your home. The new scents will include vanilla latte, cinnamon roll, and strawberry frosted donut. Matt McCarthy, are we in or out on a Dunkin' Donuts and Febreze collab?
You could not have me more out on a situation than this. I'm out, and here's why. I worked at Dunkin' Donuts when I was in high school, and there was something about the smell. You wouldn't notice it, Skaz, like in a Dunkin' Donuts. Dunkin' Donuts don't smell, right? They smell nice. But I would come home, and there was something about, I don't know what it is. It's probably the coffee, just being around coffee beans all day, maybe being around the culotta machine. I don't know, man. But those clothes would stink. Like, you wouldn't stink as a human being. I mean, I shower. I'm a normal person. There's something about those clothes, man. I can still smell it. And I have a bad Pavlovian response to that. I don't want my house smelling one bit like Dunkin' Donuts. No way. Now, it might be a delightful smell at first. It's going to seep in. Again, this is a very, very negative experience of mine when I was younger. The smell of that place. I don't know what it was, man. Probably just the coffee just seeping into the clothes. Oh, ugh. Out!
All right, maybe we can find something Matt McCarthy's in on. We'll head to our friends over at Oreo for this next one. Oreo has released multiple carnival-inspired cookie flavors for this summer. They are releasing a summer carnival tin featuring 6 new flavors. Matt McCarthy, let's find out if you're in or out on these new flavors. Flavor number 1, a hot honey cornbread Oreo.
I like honey. I like cornbread. I don't like hot. I think I have to be out on this.
How about a chocolate milkshake and fries flavored Oreo?
I wish it were vanilla. Why isn't it vanilla? I mean, I want to be in on that. I think I have to be out on that.
All right. What about a lemonade flavored Oreo?
Oh, I love lemonade, but I don't want my Oreo tasting like lemon. If I want lemonade, I'm going to go into Wegmans and get the 2 for $5 lemonade that's hanging out there. Newman's Own pink lemonade. Delightful stuff. I don't think I want lemonade in my cookies. I think I'm out on that.
How about a cotton candy flavored Oreo? Not a cotton candy fan.
Not McCarthy. A cotton candy guy. No, I don't know. There's some type of childhood trauma there. I remember going to the circus at the Worcester Centrum, and my cousins got cotton candy, and I tried to eat the cotton candy. I just didn't like the texture of it. I have not eaten it since. Out. I feel like I would like it, but that's like a childhood trauma. I can't go near it. Out on cotton candy.
How about a strawberry shortcake Oreo?
Strawberry shortcake is so overrated.
It's so dry.
It's so dry. No, I mean, if it's gonna be an Oreo, it's gotta be good. It'll be strong. These flavors suck. Out on this.
Let's end with this last one for the Oreo flavors. How about a dill pickle flavored Oreo?
Sweet Jesus, what are we doing? Dill pickle? A dill pickle.
Don't shoot the messenger, McCarthy. I just delivered the news.
I know, but if we're talking about dill, I mean, we're doing dill pickles and dongs tonight. Is that what we're doing?
Pickles and dongs.
In on the dong, out on the pickle. Give me the dong over the pickle. Out.
All right, Matt McCarthy. How about some movie casting for you?
Okay.
Some news out of Hollywood. Sebastian Stan confirmed that he will be playing Harvey Dent in the Batman 2. Are we in or out on Sebastian Stan?
Who?
Playing Harvey Dent. I believe he played The Winter Soldier. Is that who it is, Derek? I think he played Trump in a movie recently, too. Very good actor. I think handsome fella.
He looks like he could play Harvey Dent.
Sure. They gotta just cut your half your face off, right? Yeah.
No, he's got an anger to him, an edge to him. That's Harvey Dent. In. Sure, why not? In.
All right, Matt McCarthy, a little trip down memory lane here. This conflicting reports on this one, but a Hey Arnold revival is being discussed at Paramount. Matt McCarthy, are you in or out on a revival of Hey Arnold?
I'm almost always out on revivals. I'm in on this one. That show did legitimate storytelling. If you go back and watched some clips. I don't know how it ended up in my Instagram feed a few weeks ago, like just clips from Hey Arnold. Show is genius. Absolutely genius. And I feel like it kind of just faded away after a few seasons, like in the early 2000s, and there's more to be told there. So I am actually legitimately in on this. And if there's one thing that can be reboot and revived effectively, it's cartoons. Family Guy, which, I like Family Guy. I don't love Family Guy. But Family Guy initially was canceled on Fox, wasn't it? And then it went to Adult Swim, and it was popular there, so they revived it. The same with Futurama. Futurama, I think, has been revived 2 or 3 times. So yeah, you can do that with cartoons. I'm in on this. 1,000% in on this. Why the hell not? And I get it. They're trying to to target me and the nostalgia and get kids who watched shows back in the 90s to watch it. This one's going to work for me. I'm in on this. A Hey Arnold revival, outstanding. Dino Spumoni, and then there was Mickey Kaline. Just so many. Yeah.
It was Gerald, his best friend there.
Gerald Field.
Helga Pataki.
Helga. There's some good content there with Helga's mom. That lady was a raging alcoholic.
Not great.
It's not what you want. It actually explains some of Helga's trauma and the way she treats Arnold. Stoop kid's afraid to leave his stoop. He still is to this day. Where is the stoop kid? Still sitting on that stoop, man. In. We have anything else?
Let's wrap up with this. We might as well do a slight sports topic here, Matt McCarthy. Everyone's favorite commissioner, Roger Goodell, says he sees a future with multiple NFL teams based outside the United States. Matt McCarthy, are you in or out on several future NFL teams?
That's what it is. This is the future of sports, though. And I'm in on this. I'm in because I want the Premier League to come to the United States. I want there to be a Premier League team or 2 or whatever it may be based here in the United States. It is increasingly possible with how comfortable and easy travel is getting. So yeah, I'm in on this. And when I assume we're talking about international, I assume we're not talking about the NFL going to Toronto.
Yeah, that was kind of my first thought. Mexico City and Toronto get a team. I'm perfectly fine with that. But, when we start, I know the Australia game, at some point it's too gluttonous. I believe Mark Cuban said pigs get fat, hogs get slaughtered. That time will come for the NFL, but this will happen. It's all going to happen. Eventually they'll just, it'll get too fat, but they're going to try everything to bleed every last penny out of it.
What cities do you want? I want to talk about this. I want to talk about the future of sports and international expansion and what this all means. Do you like it? 617-779-0985. We'll talk about that. 90 seconds, no commercials, quick update here, and then we'll continue. It's Matt McCarthy in for Joe Murray.
From the Telefair Tiger Studios, this is Boston's home for sports. Touchdown! The flagship station of the Patriots, Bruins, the Celtics, WBCFM and HD Boston 98.5, the Sports Hub. Beasley Media Group station celebrating 65 years of broadcasting. Sports Hub headlines.
All right, Red Sox lead 6-4 in the 6th inning over at Fenway Park. Adley Rutschman an RBI, Gabriel Moreno 4 RBI for the Diamondbacks. Red Sox coming back. Led this game 3-0, trailed 4-3, now lead 6-4 in the 6th over at Fenway. Roman Anthony had himself a night as he returned to a professional baseball lineup. Went 2 for 2 in Portland with a home run, a single, 2 walks, reached base in all 4 plate appearances in Roman Anthony's return to the lineup. Meanwhile, Trevor Story, not so great tonight for AAA. Worcester went 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts in Syracuse as the Woo Sox lost 5-1 there. Patriots held their 18th training camp practice of the summer today at Gillette Stadium. It was a walkthrough ahead of the joint practices with the Eagles in the next 2 days. Christian Gonzalez was not in attendance. Around the NFL, the Giants are signing running back Najee Harris. Colts are signing wide receiver Keenan Allen. Falcons signing edge rusher Zadarius Smith. And the Giants have released wide receiver Juju Smith-Schuster. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by DN Van Lines. Take the chance out of your move and make the sure bet with DN Van Lines, an approved mover of the Department of Defense. DNVanLines.com. I'm Matt McCarthy. I'm Boston's home for sports. 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update in 30 minutes.
Boston Talk Sports.
Trade Drake May. We all know what, but we won't say what. Yeah, worst take on these airwaves in the last 24 hours.
We may not take a call today.
It's Matt McCarthy hanging out for Joe Murray. Once again, the Dong Report returns tonight at 10 o'clock, one night only in honor of the great Jeremy Connolly. Skaz did mention it. Roger Goodell basically saying it's not if, but when the NFL will expand outside of the United States. Will expand internationally, and my sense would be that is not Toronto. Maybe it will be Toronto, but they're thinking about expansion to Europe. Are you on board with this idea? 617-779-0985. I am okay with the idea of putting a team in London. I am okay with the idea of putting a team in Western Europe. You want to put a team in Amsterdam? Fine. Put a team in Paris? Fine. You can't go much east than that. Can't do it. I mean, what's a flight to London? 6 hours? What's a flight to Amsterdam? 7.5 hours? I would imagine Paris is about the same. Maybe Paris would be a little farther if my geography is not totally messed up. Players can do that. People can do that. They can manage that. I mean, you already fly to the West Coast, don't you? I would imagine, and Paris is probably about a 7-hour flight. You want to put a team in Dublin? Fine. You can't go much more east. Berlin, Frankfurt, Munich, out. Rome, out. But really, what's the opposition to this?
Well, free agency. You're going to be able to get guys to actually play. Ownership groups. I think the travel. I just wonder. I can't imagine the players' union is too excited about this.
The players' union will cave as they always do. Because in the end, it will be more jobs around the NFL. Now, if you were talking about moving the Jaguars there, and don't get me wrong, you can take that team out of Jacksonville. Sorry, Kendra, I don't care about Jacksonville. But if the NFL is expanding, they are adding teams to the league. This is the argument against it. You're going to water down the product. I don't think it has anything to do with location, to be totally honest. Put a team in Reykjavik for all I care. I don't care where the team is in the end. What I care more about are there enough quarterbacks if there are 36 NFL teams? My answer is no. Are there enough players if there are 36 NFL teams? My answer is no. It's going to hurt the product in that regard. But the location itself, whatever. If we're talking about relocating a couple of U.S. teams, sure, fine, keep it at 32. I really don't want to expand much beyond 32. That's the argument against it. Location doesn't have anything to do with it. I got no problem if you're playing a game in London. You can figure out time zones with that. You already do. People already wake up and watch 9 a.m. games. I mean, you can play those games a little bit later in the day. 9 a.m. game, that's a 3 p.m. game in London. You could play a 1 o'clock game in London. Fine, whatever. That's an 8 o'clock game there. Yeah, sure, so what? But you're going to water down the actual competition of the league. And I'll be honest, I don't know if travel has much to do with that. In this day and age, okay, so the Rams go to London. All right, well, they come here for a week. The NFL doesn't have travel problems. This does not work for other sports. I mean, if you're talking about, putting a baseball team in London, yeah, that does not work. Because you're home for 3 days, you're on the road for 3 days. In the NFL, you play a game once every 7 days. Now, there are issues with that. Thursday Night Football, you name it. The league is in the process of ruining that advantage that they have by increasing the number of games and the number of times that you play. You got Wednesday games in Australia, you got whatever. That I have a problem with. Is honestly increasing the number of nights per week with football. But I don't, in the end, really care where the game is played, assuming it's Europe, because that's manageable for a United States television audience. Australia is ridiculous. There's no way you can ever make that work. Asia is ridiculous. There's no way you can make that work. It's like the Olympics. There's a reason why the NHL didn't send their players to Pyeongchang and Beijing in 18 and 22, because games being played at 3 a.m. Makes no sense for a United States television audience. Europe, you can absolutely make work, especially given the prevalence of, again, Sunday day games around the NFL. You can make that happen. You can manage all of that. You can manage travel. The league has an extraordinary leg up over every other sport that would also be interested in doing this. Trust me, the NBA would be more than happy to put a team in London, in Madrid, in Paris, in Rome, in Amsterdam, in Berlin, in Brussels. They'd be more than happy. The NBA would love to have a European division. That does not work because, again, we're already complaining about back-to-backs in the NBA. Now you're going to, make teams go across the ocean? No, that doesn't work. It works for football, though. It just doesn't work with the number of teams being added. Is that fair on that, Skaz? Is that a fair way to look at this NFL expansion, debate and topic? I don't think the location matters as much as other people think.
Well, it depends on why you don't think it matters, because I think for free agency and stuff, it will matter. I think it will be tough to recruit guys and pay guys to play in these we see guys that don't want to play in some of the markets that are in the States. So, we hear in Boston here about how guys don't want to come to Foxborough for years. And, the highest bidder does usually always win. But I think when you're taking it overseas, that's kind of a whole other beast. I do wonder about divisional play and stuff like that, too. Is there a chance we get 2 or 3 teams overseas and they're kind of their own division? Does that make more sense? But I'm with you that it seems like a foregone conclusion that this is going to be a part of our lives in the next couple of years.
Right. So London, Dublin, Berlin, and Paris in the NFL Europe division.
Woof.
Yeah, I'm kind of out on that. And it's, again, you want to pick 4 teams from the United States to send over there? Fine, whatever. Skaz, I could find you 4 teams right now that you can. You want to move the Arizona Cardinals?
You can have them.
You want the Jacksonville Jaguars?
I got to deal with Kendra Thursday, so no, they're staying in Jacksonville.
Okay, well, Kendra, you heard it here from me first. Move your team. Your city sucks. Nobody wants to go to Jacksonville. Nobody cares about Jacksonville. We can move the Jacksonville Jaguars. You are an irrelevant franchise. You can be moved. Find me 2 other NFL teams. We got the Jaguars. We got the Cardinals. Who else
Panthers?
you want
to move? You want to move the Panthers?
Sure, absolutely. Move the Panthers. Who cares if you're going to Charlotte or you're going to, it's wherever in Europe. Charlotte or Czechia. I don't care, man. No skin off my back. Just don't add a 33rd team. Don't add a 34th, 35th, and 36th team. That's what I have a problem with. Then you'll ruin the competition. Then you'll water it down. All right, so we're moving the Panthers. We're moving the Jaguars. We're moving the Cardinals. We find another team out west to move.
Let's see. If we're
move
going
the Chargers.
If we're going by,
nobody cares about them in L.A.
Sure, why not? Send
move
them
the
around
Chargers.
Again.
Yeah.
We can move. Let's see. By valuation, the Bengals are the least valuable NFL franchise.
Move the Bengals.
Bengals, Saints, Colts are your bottom 3 NFL franchises by valuation.
Yeah, the Saints. It's a New Orleans is a tiny city by NFL standards, but I can't move the Saints.
What about the Colts? You want to move the Colts?
Move them. Move the whole AFC South. Can you move the Titans?
Sure, you can have them. Yeah,
sure. No, it's going to make people very upset when they want to go to Nashville and party with bachelorette parties. So maybe that's look at the amount of team. I'm just going with. You want to move the Tampa Bay Buccaneers? You want the Buccaneers? Who cares?
We got enough teams in Florida.
Put them on the pirate ship and send them across the ocean. Fine by me. The Atlanta Falcons? They got a nice stadium. Nothing else. Tell you what, you could do like a Rays Montreal type thing there. You can like split the Falcons. The Falcons can be the Antwerp Atlanta Falcons. They can play 8 of their home games in Atlanta and 9 of their home games in Antwerp. That math doesn't work because there are only 8 or 9 home games. 4 home games in Antwerp, 4 home games in Atlanta. There you go. Cardinals, you can move them. That's the way to do it. The Cleveland Browns. What have they done to stay there? Move them again. They didn't get it right the second time. Move them again. You lost out at this point, guys. You had 30 years to build a team that's not an embarrassment. You haven't done it. Congratulations, Cleveland. You're off to Cologne. 617-779-0985. How about Sean in Marlboro? Hey, Sean.
Hey, so I used to live in Charlotte. It's a fun town. Tampa's a decent town. Moving a team to Canada or Europe, you're actually looking at high tax rates, which would actually be the bigger problem. If you got to pay 60-70% income tax in total versus 45 in the U.S. But I actually think if you set up the salary cap right with the proper floor, you could have more parity. I think you'd have more bad games, but I think you'd have more parity where you'd have more teams going after free agents and trying to bring in big names. So I don't know. I think it could be good or bad depending on how they screw it up. But there's a few good markets you mentioned that I think you're underrating. And Tennessee, they're building that new stadium for concerts. It has nothing to do with I used to live there too.
Yep.
They're building it for concerts, not football.
Yeah, they're building it to be Nashville, which is one of America's great jump the shark cities at this point. Nashville was cool many years ago. It is not anymore. The taxes are a factor. However, that can be easily maneuvered and managed. The cap is already fake around the NFL, but if you want to play the game, you can allow the European teams to go over the cap by a certain percentage because of their location and what have you. There are a million different ways you can manage that. Not that you ever have to do it around the NFL because the cap is crap and the owners just have to pay more, but trust me, there are people who would want to bring that to owners who would want to bring the NFL to a new market, an untapped market with growth potential overseas, massive cities overseas. Trust me, the money will work out. If the money wasn't going to work out, Roger Goodell and the NFL would not be looking into it. 617-779-0985. We'll continue. We have already eliminated at least 6 or 8 NFL teams. I'm all for it. Put teams internationally, whatever. Just you got to take them here from markets in the States that don't deserve it, or their teams suck, or whatever it may be. You cannot water down the product by adding more teams. Move teams all you want. I don't care about that. Do not add any more teams. The sport is not ready for expansion. That's for sure. All right, we'll continue. It's Matt McCarthy in for Joe Murray.
More Joe Murray coming up on the Sports Hub.
Matt McCarthy in for Joe Murray tonight. You want a Garrett Crochet update? Skaz, would you like one? We have one.
I think so.
This from Chris Cotillo. Crochet saying this, quote, "What could I build up to max? Probably 2 innings. Just looking at the schedule based on when I started throwing and being smart about it," unquote. So between now and the end of the year, Garrett Crochet says, best case scenario, best case, 2 innings. That's what he can give you. 2 innings, max. I'll take it. Don't get me wrong, I'll take it. They need more than that, don't they?
I don't want him back if that's what you're getting out of him.
Honestly, Skaz, it's a fair question.
You're going to have your ace come back and pitch in cold weather, like off and on, get up and down. Like, this guy's supposed to be your ace for the next decade. And not that this is, they're a good team. They're going to be in the playoff hunt. You want to bring all the guys back to help the team. But I'm not bringing Garrett Crochet back to, get loose for an inning or two in the middle of October. I don't think that's exactly having the long-term plan in mind for the Boston Red Sox.
No, but I'm still doing it. I'm still doing it because this year counts too. I'm tired of hearing that this year doesn't count. I heard that for 5 years. I need to be consistent about this. If I'm going to rip the Red Sox for years and years and years for not placing enough emphasis on the present, then I do think you should get Garrett Crochet back. And if he can come out and pitch an inning or two for you in the playoffs at a time, I'll do it. My hesitation more is, what's he going to look like?
Yeah, is that worth a postseason roster spot?
Yeah, it is. Who'd you rather have, Garrett Crochet or Giovanni Moran?
I don't know. That's the thing. I don't. And look, Giovanni Moran's no ace or anything like that, but I don't know what Garrett Crochet is going to look like.
I think you need to see it in September. You need to see him come out of the bullpen, at the major league level a number of times and see if it works. I'm not just throwing him out there in October, I guess. I mean, is it worth a postseason roster spot? It probably is, because, again, what's Giovanni Moran going to give you in the postseason? He's not going to give you anything. Whereas Crochet, you could put out there as a high-leverage reliever, and maybe it works, maybe it doesn't, but I'll take the chance. I do want to see him in September, though. That's for sure. But I would say this, he's still not throwing, to my understanding, off of a flat surface. He's only throwing off of flat surfaces. He's throwing, right now, at 60 feet, and he's increased volume at 60 feet. What does that mean? He's throwing more at 60 feet? Well, what was he throwing before at 60 feet? Let me know when he's on a mound. And when he's on a mound, starting to work his way back. Let me know when. I'm far more interested in what Garrett Crochet looks like in a rehab appearance than Roman Anthony. Hitters, you can throw out there, give him a few at-bats in the minor leagues, and that's that. Pitchers, it is far more than that. Far more. 617-779 reading. I just want to read here from 0985. Just want to read here from Crochet and his comments to Chris Cotillo in Mass Live. Cotillo writes this: 115 days after he last threw a pitch for the Red Sox, staff ace Garrett Crochet spent part of his Tuesday afternoon playing catch on the Fenway Park field. He tossed a baseball back and forth with a team staffer in right field, at times throwing harder than he did others. With just under 6 weeks to go before the end of the regular season, Crochet remains intent on returning to the mound, as a reliever perhaps, dominating in short bursts, even if he'd need to progress to bullpen sessions, then facing hitters, then a potential rehab assignment before being activated. Quote, "I'm quite hopeful," he said before going out to throw. "I'm not going to say when, because I don't know. The past couple times I've been like, oh yeah, probably don't even need to go on the IL, and here I effing am, 4 months later. Right now, I'm trying to practice delayed gratification with myself. Unless I'm crossing the finish line, I'm not going to start celebrating." As Cotillo writes, even without celebration, Crochet is finally taking meaningful steps towards activation, nearly 4 months after he was first placed on the injured list with shoulder inflammation on April 29th. After spending all of June and July shut down from throwing, his shoulder is at full strength again. Now it's about raising the intensity as he plays catch every day. This week, Crochet says he'll play catch 6 times. Last week was 5. Crochet said, quote, "Been seeing good recovery, no issues with raising intensity. It's easy to catch. It's easy catch. I don't want to paint the illusion that I'm effing throwing hard right now. I've been in the upper 60s and mid 70s. Today, I'm going to try and push it a little more than that, just ebbing and flowing volume and intensity together. It is August. He has not thrown since April, and he is in the 60s and 70s. There are kids in Little League throwing 60s and 70s. And I'm not saying that to criticize Crochet. I'm saying, wow, he is far away. The more you read about it, Skaz, he might be right. I mean, this is August, and you're throwing 65 out there.
Yeah, I just worry about, even if he does come back, in what capacity is it going to be? Where, like you said, it's August 18th. This is not, this is not July. We're getting closer and closer. And if he's not ready, I don't know. I know Garrett Crochet is, when we talk about Trevor Story coming back compared to Roman Anthony, I understand Garrett Crochet is much more in that Roman Anthony mold, but the Sox' maybe greatest strength throughout this whole run has been their bullpen and their back end. And obviously Garrett Crochet, you would think on paper, would be a great addition to that, but I need to see it first. I'm not just going to hand him the job. I know he probably deserves that, but he's a starting pitcher, and that's who I want him to be at the start of next season. If there is a next season, who knows? But maybe that plays into it. If the Red Sox have some info that we're not playing baseball next year, then F it. Let Garrett Crochet throw an inning. I don't care.
So the good news, if you want to make an argument for Crochet as a reliever, Skaz, he has done it before. He was a reliever in Chicago. He essentially had a full season as a reliever. He has 73 innings, 85 strikeouts in 73 innings. He's got a 2.71 career ERA out of the bullpen. Cotillo wrote, Crochet acknowledged that time has run out for him to return to a rotation role this season, saying that the chances of needing to return as a reliever are 1,000,000%. He then said, what could I build up to? Max, probably 2 innings. Just looking at the schedule based on when I started throwing and being smart about it.
I mean, if you're telling me you can come back and be Andrew Miller, then I'm all in, because that's what I think about. A big lefty out of the pen that can give you 2 shutdown innings. Like Andrew Miller was that guy for multiple organizations, but I'm terrified that Garrett Crochet would become Andrew Miller because of something like that.
Yeah, I think in a one-off in a year like this, I'll give it a shot. You want to know the interesting thing about this? We've kind of talked about this in the past. Crochet is about to lose value as part of this when it comes to his contract.
He loses a year, right, technically?
Here's what Cotillo writes. Crochet's injury and the longer than expected timetable for him to return has also significantly impacted his contract with the Red Sox. The 6-year, $170 million extension he signed with Boston last spring included an insurance provision for the Red Sox if the lefty dealt with a long-term arm injury during the deal. If at any point during the contract Crochet were to miss 120 consecutive days due to an arm injury, his opt-out clause after 2030 would void, and a $15 million club option for the 2032 season would be added to the deal. Sunday equals the 120-day mark since Crochet's IL placement. That means the Red Sox, who otherwise would have had Crochet under control for the next 4 years at $112 million before he decided on a player option for 2031, now have him under contract for 5 guaranteed years and $142 million with a 6th-year team option and an additional $15 million. Red Sox just got an extra year, essentially an extra 2 years onto Crochet's deal. I did not know he had an opt-out. I probably knew it at one point. I forgot. So Crochet won't hit free agency until 34. He said he's not dwelling on it. I would have liked to avoid it just because as a player, when you're earlier in free agency in your career, it's huge. At the same time, I'm worried about the contract that's at hand. I'm not worried about the next one. Not right now, especially when I'm sitting here on the IL. It is what it is. Hopefully I'm performing well enough that the option gets picked up. For $15 million, I can assure you that option will be picked up. I will make that bet right now. I don't know if we're all around in 2032. $15 million of Garrett Crochet will be picked up. 617-779-0985. So I will say, Skaz, it doesn't feel like, he says he's hopeful to return in a relief role. I'm still not betting on it. And you're right in questioning what you might get in return. I'm willing to take the chance if you're the Red Sox. I'm willing to take the chance. I also, dude, I've got concerns about Whitlock. I've got concerns about Chapman. You throw Crochet into the mix, it just gives you another arm back there that has high-end stuff and could be a legitimate bona fide high-end reliever for you.
Well, I think that's honestly part of the reason why it scares me, because of who the Red Sox are in their track history, and Whitlock, Slayton going down. Obviously, we got some good news regarding them today, but you mentioned Chapman. He hasn't been quite the Aroldis Chapman in recent weeks. He still had his shutdown moments, but a couple long dongs out of Chapman in recent weeks. So I just hope they're not looking at the rest of their bullpen and saying, we really need Garrett Crochet. It would be wonderful. It would be nice to add Garrett Crochet to that mix, but I don't want the Boston Red Sox in a position where they're the ones pressuring Garrett Crochet to come back.
Did you just say long dong?
Yes. No spoilers, but...
No, none whatsoever. I just want to remind you that 25 minutes from now, the Dong Report makes its triumphant return to the night show at 98.5 The Sports Hub in honor of the great Jeremy Connolly.
Work, 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 work. Everybody work, 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 work.
And the plethora of Dong drops that we have, Dong audio, to play for you, I am over the moon. I think Roach is a fraud. I think Roach is a pretend Cape League fan. I haven't seen him. Where you been, Roachy? That felt unnecessary for me. I don't know why I said that back in the day. I probably said that 10 years ago.
Now, I think this is you at the end of this clip, McCarthy.
Let's hear it.
We just had fat guy in a little coat. Fat guy in a little coat. You guys never seen that scene before?
We need to cut a break. That's a very young Matt McCarthy having no idea what the hell's going on.
Saying, oh man, this Joe Murray guy, I got to get him to break somehow.
Right. My God. 617-779-0985.
Second up, Buttercup.
I will, Sarge. Thank you. I don't want to spoil it. I mean, are we going to have a good night? I promise. I don't want to promise you. I used to promise Jeremy back in the day that we would have a bountiful night of dongs. I will just say, I kind of think it's up to Jeremy tonight.
Astros.
No, we need to save that. I hope we get that again. I mean, I assume the Astros are playing tonight, right, Arkand? Excuse me.
Astros. Rain on me with the Cheetos.
You remember how Conley used to, so he would go through phases where he'd play the Astros cut every night, and it offended Arkand. Arkand didn't like it. And then he would go weeks without playing it, and Arkand would think he would be safe, and then he would just drop it on him just to get him going again.
No one knew how to rile you up like the Jeremy Conley. No one could get you frustrated and laugh like Jeremy Conley. Laugh in your face as he was purposefully pissing you off.
Yeah, and highlighting your colossal F-ups. And as you mentioned earlier, and as we will experience in the Dong Report, nobody could quite F up the Dong Report like Tim McCone. That was all time. Just all time.
McCone. Rhymes with bone.
Thank you, Maz. That's just
you know what? I could mess around with a blimp.
In what context was that?
You know, there's only top five quarterbacks in the NFL.
No, thank you, Tim.
Right?
That's the type of analysis you don't get anywhere else.
I could mess around with a blimp.
I could too. Who wouldn't? I could drive a blimp. Could you land a blimp?
Sure, why not?
I could too.
Can't be that hard.
I mean, you basically just let the air out, right? It's going to be like a hot air balloon. Isn't that what a blimp is?
I'm out on hot air balloons.
Well, I am too. I don't want to be balloon boy up there. But,
no, thank you.
Didn't Dante Stallworth crash a hot air balloon into power lines?
That's a story I don't recall.
I think he did. I'll look that up. Dante... don't type that into AI. You'll get the wrong answer. Cool. We really needed those details. Thanks for adding that to the program.
What a dick.
Who? Cattles?
No. Yeah, we really needed that. So you remember the context of that one?
Yeah, I said it to Cattles, and I was 100%.
Naturally.
I was 100% right.
Of course.
I was, yes. Let's see. Hot air balloon. Well, it does come up right away. He was on a hot air balloon accident last month that left him and his friend with serious injuries. They struck power lines and crashed. He suffered burns and temporary electrical shock paralysis.
I would say that's bad.
I'm out on that. Balloon basket hit overhead power lines during a leisure ride. Does not strike me as leisurely.
Doesn't sound very leisurely to me.
No, it really doesn't. Dante Stallworth on hot air balloon accident, quote, I thought I was dead, unquote. I think I would think the same thing. I will be the most alive 20 minutes from now when the Dong Report returns. We will do McCarthy's musings. I would like to muse on something that happened on this show many years ago. We'll go down memory lane on that, and we'll do that next.
You can check out my piece.
Sports Hub headlines.
Gross. I don't want to do that, Silver. Why? Why would you say that? Red Sox out to a 9-4 lead over at Fenway Park as they look to pick up a win on the Diamondbacks. We are in the 8th inning. Eric Miller on for Boston. Adley Rutschman is...
World unrelated to sports, so sit back, relax, and get your mind in the game and listen to the words of a grown man complaining.
All right, it's Murray's Musings, McCarthy's Musings. It's maybe easily one of the longest running segments on the station. Joe's been doing this forever. A decade plus, at least. I've been here, I think, 13 years. Joe might have started this like a year into my time here. 2 years minimum. And it's a staple of the night show every night. Skaz, I mean, as we've talked about, in the last couple of days, and I know you guys probably spent a lot of time talking about last night, our friend Jeremy Connolly, who passed this past week, our great colleague, former producer of the night show, had a brief illness, and it's affected all of us, and we're all still really feeling it, really reeling after the loss of our good friend. And I don't know, I just keep thinking of like moments that have happened on the night show over the years, and I mean, the night show is the place where crazy moments happen because it's late at night, you're screwing around. You have more of a rotating cast of characters over the course of the history of the station. I mean, there used to be two people in the night show, Jones and Arcand, or Jones and Keefe, or, Jones and Chuck Perks. No, Chuck Perks was here originally with DA, but it used to be two people. So, somebody would get moved to another day part, during the summertime, and you'd bring a new person in. It was like the place, the real training ground, and, the place where everybody would come in, and everybody at some point has worked the night show here. It's a rite of passage. If you don't work the night show, you're not working at 98.5. It's this the way it is. So there have been so many memories that have happened on this show, I think, for me and for everybody over the course of, 10, 15 years working here. And I've just been thinking about, like, the crazy, zany, wild things that have happened with us and with Jeremy, and I know you've been thinking about the same thing in recent days, Gaz. There are two things that really stand out. One is the origin of Murray's Musings, which may have started on the weekends, Joe's show on the weekends, and he'd start musing about something, but then when he kind of became one of the regular fill-ins at night, like the primary fill-in at night, which was relatively early on in probably Jeremy's tenure as executive producer of the night show, and certainly early on in my tenure here. I mean, Joe became the guy to fill in at night, because Joe was our top fill-in guy for many, many years. So he brought Murray's Musings to the night show. Anytime he would fill in for Jones, or anytime he would fill in for Keefe or Arcand or whoever it may be, Joe brought that to the night show. And as we know, in Murray's Musings, Joe will do birthdays. Does Joe still do birthdays as part of Murray's Musings, guys?
Sometimes, we run out of time a lot of the time, but we do try and mix in the birthdays.
Yeah, so that was his, what we would call like 950 segment. Keefe had Kiefer Madness at 950. Arcand had a number of segments. What did he have? This Week in Social Media.
He did DJ Alexi for a little while there.
Alexi and all of the, like, historically 950 was the time where the second chair or the fill-in guy would like have their segment. So Joe brought Murray's Musings onto the show and would do birthdays at the end of Murray's Musings. One night, Joe read off the wrong birthdays, which you would say, why does this matter? And that's the beauty of it. It doesn't. It doesn't matter one bit. Jeremy called him out for it. It was like Joe was on like June 5th or something. And Jeremy's like, Joe was given all these birthdays, and Jeremy probably had a list up. He's like, none of these birthdays are June 5th. Like, why isn't that person on this list? Jeremy discovered that Joe was reading the wrong month. And he called Joe out for it on the air. And Joe tucked his tail between his legs like a beaten dog and basically quit on the show. He was so dejected.
I may have found it, Matt McCarthy.
You may have found it.
I may have found it.
Well, let's just play it.
It's taken me a while.
Why the hell not?
Happy birthday to Sylvester Stallone, 71.
Oh, wow. Happy birthday, Sly Stallone.
So he leads it tonight. George W., he's 71.
Wow, that's
a tough
shot.
one.
They're the same age?
Same age. The Dalai Lama, 82. Kevin Hart is 38 years old.
I heard Kevin Hart, but thought Kevin James. I'm like, 38? Sorry, Kevin Hart looks 38. That makes more sense.
50 Cent, 42. Manny Machado's only 25 years old.
Yeah, he's a beast.
Paul Gasol's 37. And your boy, Jay Crowder, 27 years old tonight.
Jay Crowder is... First of all, it says his birthday is July 6th on Basketball Reference.
How did that happen?
And but he is 27 for a few more.
He is 27.
Sylvester Stallone's birthday is also July 6th.
What is going on here?
Did you Google July 6th?
How about we start this over? Can we? Can we get a mulligan? Can we get a mulligan? We're in July.
Joe!
I even sent the things. This should definitely get me the job, Jones.
It's June. You realize it's June.
Oh, my God. I'm so sorry, everybody.
Okay. Let's just
No,
okay,
no,
so Joe, I understand.
I think we should just...
You're giving us a 1 month heads up. So now it's like, okay, well, when July 6th hits, it's nice of you. You give us a little heads up. July 6th is going to be a big day.
We had a bad dong night.
July 6th is going to be a
week.
big day. So if you could give us some June 6th birthdays, that'd be much appreciated.
I was so upset about those Saugus kids.
Well, you were upset about that. Do you need help Googling June 6th birthdays?
Yeah, I've given up. There's no other good birthdays today. Screw it.
Joe just flat out quitting on the... Jeremy hounded him about that for close to a decade. He never let him forget it.
June 6th, 2018.
All time. So that's a great Jeremy moment because he was the one who truly discovered it and would never let Joe forget it and would remind him like, hey, Joe, are these the right birthdays? And Joe was always sad every time Jeremy mentioned it.
That's a tough one there.
My second favorite Jeremy weird night show moment was 2022. Again, you would have like the second chair moment 950, and my segment was called McCarthyism, where I just had a list and I put people on it, and I dared put Jeremy on the list because I had accidentally spoiled the Dong Report earlier in the night. It gave a home run during a headline or whatever it was. It angered Connolly, and I said, you know what? This is BS. Why should we not have to spoil the Dong Report? I'm here to do my job as a headlines man. I'm here to tell you what's happening in the sports world, and if a home run happens, I'm going to tell you it. And I waged war on Connolly, and this is what it sounded like. You know what then happened next? Christian Vasquez.
A solo home run! Let the truth set you free! Let the truth set you free! The Tigers have just hit a home run! Who is that? Somebody get me the information! Jonathan Scope has homered for the Detroit Tigers! It's a 5-4 game! I will not be silenced!
I was silenced.
Strongly silenced.
Yes. I said I would not be silenced. I was. Including in the Dong Report that night where Connolly turned my mic off, refused to let me read anything. And that was that. That was the night I went to Dong jail. Well, Skaz, tonight I have been released from Dong jail on parole. A one-night parole for the Dong Report. It returns for one time tonight in the honor of our great friend, the late, great curator of the Dongs, Jeremy Connolly. We will do our best not to screw it up. We will do our best to do a Dong Report that Jeremy deserves. And we will do that next. Just after 10 o'clock, the Dong Report comes your way here on The Night Show.
Boy, tell you what, Tommy Heinsohn must be having kittens.
You're listening to Joe. You're listening to Joe Murray. On
Top of the ninth, Wyatt Olds on the mound for Boston as they look to wrap this one up. Adley Rutschman, an RBI in this game. His first RBI in a Red Sox uniform. We will have more momentarily. Meanwhile, Roman Anthony went deep tonight for the Portland Sea Dogs in his return to minor league baseball. Began his rehab assignment. Anthony went 2 for 2. Home run, a single, walked twice, reached in all 4 plate appearances. Trevor Story, not so good tonight. 0 for 3, 2 strikeouts for AAA Worcester. Patriots were back on the practice field today as they get ready for the Eagles and joint practices tomorrow and Thursday. Christian Gonzalez not in attendance today. It was a walkthrough for the Pats. Elsewhere in the NFL, Giants signing running back Najee Harris, Colts signing wide receiver Keenan Allen, Falcons signing edge rusher Zadarius Smith, and the Giants have released wide receiver Juju Smith-Schuster. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by Boston Prolotherapy. Don't let joint pain keep you off the court, course, or trail. Eliminate that pain with Dr. Franke of Boston Prolotherapy. I'm Matt McCarthy on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update in 30 minutes.
Listen to it, laugh at it, get mad at it, agree with it, argue about it. It is Boston Sports. Boston Sports. And it is all we do. 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Do you want to see me suck a few dingers?
Dingers! Dingers!
Dong, dong, home runs.
Oh, yeah! It's the Dong Report. Back again for one night only in honor of the great Jeremy Connolly. That is his voice you hear. He was a classically trained vocalist, nailing those high notes. Dongs, dongs, dongs. Home runs! Oh, we got dongs, 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 dongs tonight. I'm not going to sarge it for you. By the way, you do know, Skaz, that we do need to have the dong list drop ready. I hope we don't need it. But we got to make sure we don't screw this stuff up here. You ready? Skaz, you ready? You feeling the pressure? Taking over for the great Jeremy Connolly back there?
There is tremendous pressure on such a situation here. I feel like I'm already behind. I feel like Jeremy Connolly would have played this already.
It's just after.
Well, 1 second. See, I'm already screwing up here. This is why it was Jeremy Connolly's thing and not mine. But here we go. We're in, Matt McCarthy.
You're good to go.
Just after 10 p.m. This is the adult tour, which means you can drink if you want, and we can say whatever the hell we want.
There you go. It's exactly what we can do. It's just after 10 p.m. Let's start it right up with Tigers and the Pirates.
Valdemir is known to be a Russian spy beluga whale and is now in Swedish waters, said in a statement by one whale. Valdemir was recently spotted in Norway's capital.
Yeah, it's a statement from a whale, Joe Murray.
O'Neal Cruz going deep tonight. His 15th of the season. And oh my God, welcome to the Dong Report, Brett Callahan. Congratulations on your first dong. We all remember our first dong. Welcome to the Dong Report, Brett Callahan, 393 feet. He went deep as the Tigers took on the Pirates tonight. Let's go to the Yankees and the Orioles.
Brady has beaten off all comers. He is now, maybe that didn't come across quite the way I wanted it to come across.
Don't think it did, Jones. Trent Grisham going deep tonight, his 17th. Colby Mayo going deep for Baltimore, also his 17th on the season. Let's check in on the Cardinals and the Reds.
What does she do?
Tables!
But how is tables a job?
How is it a job? Wondered that myself. Mason Wynn went deep. That was his 18th homer of the year. Cardinals and the Reds. We've already screwed up in this. I need to get the final score of these games. I got to provide that for you here. 1 second. We got the Cardinals and the Reds. Where are we? Cardinals beat the Reds 3-0 tonight. How about the Giants and the Guardians?
Right. So, the first contestant went first.
Thank you, McCone. Much appreciated. Bryce Eldridge went deep for San Francisco, his 14th of the season, and Joe Adell went... Oh, baby! Skaz, you know what that means, right?
That is the long gong of the night, Matt McCarthy.
The long gong. Joe Adell, 455 feet. It is the long dong of the night. It's his 19th home run of the year, but most importantly, it proves, well, that he had the long dong. Congratulations on your extraordinarily long dong, Joe Adell, at 455 feet. Let's check in on the Marlins and the Phillies.
This one's for you, Al.
Griffin Conine, who I saw hit a home run in a Cape League All-Star game, had his 14th. I kind of like this. We were denied a dong denial.
What the hell is going on?
We can't be doing that. But Derek, with a strong contribution to the dong report tonight, Kyle Schwarber had a dong called back, a dong denial. It would have ranked him tied first in Major League Baseball for home runs. It was not meant to be. I don't like that. I mean, I think we should acknowledge it, but I just want to say I don't like that. This is about the dongs, not about the near dongs, not about the denied dongs. I hate it when dongs get denied. Blue Jays and Rays.
Pretty good show, guys. That's a pretty good show.
Hey, do you know this guy?
Nope. Alejandro Kirk, his 6th of the year. Kazuma Okamoto, his 25th of the season, 442 feet. And Josh Smith also went deep for Toronto, his 3rd of the season. Blue Jays picked up a 10-5 win over the Rays. How about the Padres and the Mets?
Melakalikimaka is a wise way to say Merry Christmas to you.
Thank you, Joe. Double dong night, a double dong night for Fernando Tatis Jr., hitting number 14 and 15 on the season. He is starting to pile up the dongs after going essentially dongless for the first half of the year. You never want to go Mike Sardriley dongless. You do not want to do that. And Tatis has decided not to. Double dong night for him. He also went deep, a deep dong, 452 feet, his first dong of the evening. Luis Torrens, his 7th of the year for the Mets, and Luis Robert Jr. also his... Oh! Oh! Whoa! Now... am I to understand that we have a late-breaking dong in this game?
We do, Matt McCarthy. Manny Machado with a late breaker, Matt McCarthy.
What number is that for him this year?
24 for Manny Machado.
Now, I don't want to say that we did it wrong, but we do late-breaking dongs after we do all the dongs.
I was too excited.
I mean, how could you not be excited to hear the late-breaking dong sound? I hope we get to hear it again. We'll do that afterward, but I understand, Skaz. Don't hold your dongs there. Hold your dongs. Let's do the Diamondbacks and the Red Sox.
How much time left? I don't know how much time we got left. Another minute or two.
Gabriel Moreno, a grand dong tonight. Grand slam. His 10th of the season, traveled 428 feet. That put Arizona ahead in this game, 4-3. But then Adley Rutschman, with his first dong in a Red Sox uniform, 9th of the season overall, but welcome back to the Dong Report. Adley Rutschman is first in a Sox uniform. Mickey Gasper going deep as well. He had his 2nd of the year, 414 feet. Red Sox picked up a victory tonight over the Diamondbacks, 9-4. Let's go to the Athletics and the Royals.
Back a 9 and rubbed out hard behind the net.
Jesus, Judd.
Dongless!
No!
Dongless!
No!
Dongless!
No!
Dongless!
I don't like that, Sarge. It did feel good to...
It's all good, babe.
It was not, Sarge. It was not good in that spot.
Give me another dong!
I want another dong. Do we have dongs in the Mariners-Brewers game?
The super pooper was caught in the act.
Oh, we have dongs, all right. We got dongs. Christian Yelich, his 9th dong of the year, for 396 feet. David Hamilton. Did we get David Hamilton showing up in the dong report tonight? David Hamilton out here with his 4th dong. Jake Bowers, his 22nd of the season. The Mariners and the Brewers. That game, I would imagine, still going on. Milwaukee out to a 12-0 lead on the Mariners right now. How about the Nationals and the Rangers?
Hey, Bo Winkle, you want to see me pull a rabbit out the hat?
And now for something completely different.
Yeah, that's right, the commercial.
I didn't see that coming with Grandy there. At first, I just thought it was Max being Max, but then I got Grandy going back to the 1950s on me. Justin Foscue. Who the hell is that? Justin Foscue, not Fescue, Foscue. His 8th dong of the year. The Nationals and the Rangers, that game currently underway. Top of the 8th, Rangers with a 5-0 lead there. How about the White Sox at the Cubs?
Followed by Yanni Gourde. Help me out here, Jeremy. Sherrod?
Still going.
Sherrod. See, this is why I don't like hockey. That's why I don't like hockey.
He's still going. I guess that would be Chariot, right?
I think it's Sherrod. I don't know.
Well, I mean, French Canadian, I would think.
Yeah, Chariot.
Chariot. PCA, his 31st dong of the year. Michael Bush. Nice Bush. 15 of the year. Munetaka Murakami, his 29th dong of the season. Just bringing all the dongs from Japan. 406 feet. White Sox and the Cubs. Chicago, the White Sox leading 3-2 in the top of the 7th. We got a lot of games going on. I'm hoping we got some late breakers. That would be like a real late breaker, not, an early breaker, Skaz. Angels and Astros.
Excuse me.
Hey, yes. Yes.
Excuse me, Astros.
Oh, thank God. Thank God you played that one. Top 5 dong drop of all time. Josh Lowe, his 10th of the season. Kind of a cheap dong. Short dong. I mean, a dong's a dong all the same, but only...
We don't dong shame here.
No, we definitely do not dong shame. 345 feet. It gets the job done. Angels and the Astros. The Angels leading this game 3-0 in the bottom of the 7th. And the final game of the night, Dodgers at the Rockies. Art Vandelay checking in on Twitter. Number 43, Leapin' Loose Sinus. Sanus. Sanus? I feel like I'm going to run into trouble with this.
Safe harbor.
Yeah, like S anus, basically. That's basically what it is. Sanus. Sanus. From the 1955 Rangers. A legend, truly.
New York.
Leapin' Lou Anus.
Leapin' Lou.
Yep.
I think you may have been gone with a fake name there, Matt McCarthy.
I think they got me. Thank God Silver was there for me to... Sanus. He had no problem with it. Sanus. Shohei Ohtani, his 30th dong of the year, 448 feet. That is the dong in that game, which is still going on. The Dodgers leading the Rockies 6-4. Now, I don't know how you want to do this, given you did jump the gun, Skaz. We did have 29 dongs. Including the late breaker, we should do the 30. So I would... Yes! Let's go! Oh, Jeremy, thank you.
Willie Castro adding on to our total tonight.
Okay, so we're at 29, 30, and 31. I mean, we got to start rattling off numbers there, Skaz. So let's see, 29. 29's not a good number. That's not a good number at all.
I'll give you some 31s.
We got to start with 29. 29, that would be a...
How about an Eric Dickerson 29?
Eric Dickerson 29. There got to be some running
Earl
backs.
Thomas 29.
You're not looking this up, are you?
No, never. How about recent Hall of Famer, former Red Sox Adrian Beltre 29?
Oh, that is a good 29 right there. Derek, what do we got? Any good 29s back there? Get Derek in on this, too.
How about...
Hey, no. I saw him go to his
he's typing over there. Can't do that.
You can't do that. I used to be so good with this type of stuff, so good with numbers in the Dong Report.
Leon Draisaitl, 29.
That's a good 29 right there. That's a strong 29. Bruins 29? Any Bruins 29s? How about Patriots 29s? That doesn't feel like a great Patriots number. Weak Patriots number. Red Sox 29s? Ugh. Celtics 29s?
Smoltz wear 29?
Smoltz did wear 29. Where'd you pull that one, Skaz?
In my baseball days. I used to care about baseball deeply.
Let's see. How about 30? 30 is a much better number. 30, we would have a Mark Blunt 30. Mark Blunt. 30 for the Patriots. 30 is not a great Patriots number either. 30 for the Bruins. That is a, what? Tim Thomas, 30? He was 30. Tuca was 40. Thomas was 30. How about, let's see.
Steph Curry is a famous 30.
Steph Curry is a famous 30.
Nolan Ryan,
that's a good one. You're looking these up, aren't you?
I'm not. Derek can see my screen right here.
Derek, can you confirm? Give me a thumbs up on that.
Terrell Davis, 30.
See, now we're getting into running backs. Running backs, some good 30s. Good, strong 30s. Somebody tweets in again. This is where you want to get your numbers in. McCarthy, a Bobby Dahlbeck 29. That's good. Bobby Dahlbeck 29. 30. Okay, well, let's move on to 31. That's a Jonathan Jones 31.
Jonathan Jones 31.
That is a Cedric Maxwell 31. Now we're getting into some good ranges there. 31.
Rain on me with the Cheetos.
Thank you, Max. Thank you. 31. It's got to be a good corner number. Real good corner number. Is Witherspoon 31?
Sounds right. I believe the Honey Badger was 31 back in the day.
Yes, I believe he was.
I'm trying to think of other famous 30. It's been McCarthy, we're rusty.
We're
rusty here.
Beyond rusty. I used to be able to rattle these off all the time, but you had to be good. You had to
Reggie
be good
Miller 31.
Reggie Miller 31. Yeah, that's a strong 31.
How about Mike Piazza 31?
Ooh, good. I'm struggling tonight, guys. This is a shameful performance.
Oh, Jeremy would not like this.
No,
he would not like this.
No, I'm glad I'm here to make him angry.
That's what we're here for.
That's why we're doing it.
How about Carey Price 31?
That's 31 feels we're in goalie range there. That's a big time goalie number. I feel like low 30s goalies.
How about Joe Murray chiming in and Adley Rutschman 31?
Does Rutschman wear 31 for the Red Sox?
Apparently so.
All right, well there you go. I mean, he's a member of the Dong Report tonight. Who would have worn 30? Was John Lester was 31, wasn't he? Well, he was 61, but then was he 31? I think he was 31. I'm going to confirm that. John Lester, number. Red Sox, 31. Good. All right, there we go.
I believe Joe Johnson might have wore 31 for the Celtics. I'm trying to think of any. Well, no, he couldn't have because of Maxwell. So maybe he was a non-Celtic 31.
I bet you he would have worn 31 because Max's number was not retired at that point.
Ah, look at you, Matt McCarthy. Always on top.
Look at the big brains on McCarthy over here. 31. We're missing some corners who are 31. Safety, was Cam Chancellor 31?
Ooh, Earl Thomas was 29, I think, so Chancellor might have been 31.
Jonathan Jones. No, I think Hawkins was 25. Just thinking safeties now. Got safeties on the mind. We have any more late breakers, guys? Anything? We'll go into the YouTube chat. I hope we've already had 2 late breakers. I feel like we need a third from Jeremy. Jeremy, do you have a third late breaker for us? I need a late breaking dong. I need more dongs.
We're dragging this thing out, McCarthy. We're dragging it out.
We got active games out there. Let's see. Yeah, people are shaming me for my lack of number. I'm with you, man. We'll get to all your numbers. We'll get to the Hannah Report, if Hannah Report's still out there.
Jason Terry, 31, I believe.
Jason Terry, 31. Strong to quite strong. 29, 30, 31. Get those in at Matt McCarthy 98.5. Get them in the YouTube chat. And call in with them at JJ Skaz on Twitter. Unless we have some 32 is such a good number. We got to get there. Don't give me a wrap this thing up. I don't want that. We got to keep this thing going. Do we have any more late-breaking dongs to get us to 32? 3 top 100 prospects in the farm system, Mike.
Oh, that's it, McCarthy. Keep coming.
More Joe Murray coming up on the Sports Hub.
Time return of the Dong Report in honor of our very much missed friend and colleague, Jeremy Connolly. He would have loved it. He would have loved that Dong. Actually, he would have hated that Dong Report. I don't think we truly did it up to his standards. Skaz jumped the gun on a early, it was an early breaker, not a late breaker. I didn't have the scores in front of me. It was a very poor performance. We just can't be doing that. But man, that made me happy. That legitimately, Skaz, like I have a smile on my face. I haven't wiped it off my face in the last 5 minutes. That was the best.
There's nothing like the Dong Report. Some of my first shifts really in here, seeing what the night show was all about up close and personal. Nothing quite like the Dong Report.
Joe's in the chat, and I know people are pressuring him to do this every night. What did he have to say to that? What did Joe have to... I'll read you Joe's comment. Basically said this is a one-time thing. One-time thing. Which, it should be. But it would feel wrong if that were the last ever Dong Report on that. I know Arcan does it across the street, but this is where it originated. It originated in big part with Jeremy Connolly, and the Dong Report came home tonight. It came home. To your numbers, what did we miss? And the answer is a lot. 29, 30, and 31. People tweeting in number 29, out of service Purvis Ellison for the Celtics. Sam Hauser 30, a Sam Hauser 30. How about a Greg Maddux 31? That's a big miss from Mr. Baseball over here. Brandon Merriweather got this a number of times. A Brandon Merriweather 31, Big Bang Clock. Barth hitting us with a Deron Harmon 30. Missed some big Red Sox ones. Keith Folk, 29. Knew I was missing a big Red Sox one. Gabe Kapler, 29. LeGarrette Blunt, 29. I knew there was a Patriots running back. That's a bad miss. Of course, I missed Bobby Dahlbeck. I wish I could not remember that, but I do. Unfortunately, all of us do. Dave Roberts, 31. How about an Aqib Talib, 31? Aqib Talib. That's a good one right there. Good corner number. Feels like a big, strong corner. It's not as good as 24, but that's a good one. Skaz, you get any that I missed before I hop into YouTube here? You think of
I'm still searching for drops back here.
You're still looking for the Ken Griffey Jr., Ken Griffey Jr. Senior one.
It's giving me fits. I might not be able to sleep tonight if I can't find it.
It's the greatest, I think arguably the greatest drop in the history of the Dong Report. Ken Griffey Jr. and Ken Griffey Jr. Senior. We should mention that a Ken Griffey Jr. 30 and a Ken Griffey Jr. Senior 31.
Very fitting. Very fitting.
Very fitting. The Dong Report returns and we get to drop a Ken Griffey Jr. and a Ken Griffey Jr. Senior on you. Thanks to Tim McCone. Skaz, I may have to come help you look for that during the break. Like, we need more bodies on this, like more manpower to find that audio. It's the greatest drop in the history of the segment. What else do we have here? Gotta scroll all the way up. We did get a Mike Piazza 31. Doug Marabelli 29. I believe Marabelli was 28. I think you're wrong about that. And check that out. You can't go to 32. We can't be doing that. Fred McGriff. Fred McGriff was 29. He highly endorses this product. Pointing at the screen. Doug Marabelli. Everybody's saying Doug Marabelli. Am I wrong about that? I thought he was 28. Doug Marabelli wore number 28 during his major league career. Yep. So no, Marabelli. Wrong. Can't be doing that. Out. We must be accurate here in the Dong Report. How dare you? Joe Murray jumping in with the presidents in honor of, that was one of my contributions to the Dong Report years ago. I'd give you the president, number 29. That would be Warren G. Harding. He was not a good president. Not a good president at all. Maybe one of our worst. Historically, historians don't feel very good about him. He was bad at the job. Then he died. Didn't work out so well for him. So that means it's a Calvin Coolidge 30. Guys, have you ever been to the Calvin Coolidge Historic Site in Plymouth Notch, Vermont?
I can't say that I have.
I actually highly recommend it.
I'll be up there in a couple months. Maybe I'll check it out.
Where are you going? What part of Vermont?
Wyndham.
Wyndham.
I think that's what it's called.
That's near Wyndham. That's near like Tunbridge and White River Junction and all that, right?
Sure, why not? I'm only getting married up there. It's, somewhere up there.
Wyndham, Vermont?
I think so.
Oh, let's check this out. I didn't know you were getting married there.
I think. Pretty sure.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you're not going to be far from... I was thinking of a different Wyndham. You're not going to be far, though. You're probably like a 30-minute ride from the Calvin Coolidge Historical Site. I highly advise that you take your wonderful bride there and you enjoy. So Calvin Coolidge was sworn in the middle of the night in his father's home in Plymouth Notch, Vermont, because Harding dropped dead in San Francisco. So some dude basically shows up at their door in the middle of the night, like knocks on the door, is like, Mr. Vice President, you're president. They have to wake the guy up, and he takes the oath of office by candlelight at 3 a.m. in his father's house where there's no electricity, no telephone. They had to walk to the general store across the street and plug in a telephone and call Washington to make sure it was true. It's actually legitimately cool. I went there thinking it was a joke. It's cool. I recommend it.
Well, I've quickly been corrected. McCarthy, my fiance, listening. Windsor, babe. Windsor, Vermont.
Windsor.
And Calvin Coolidge apparently stayed in the venue we are getting married in.
No kidding.
There's a little history for you there, Matt McCarthy.
Windsor, Vermont. That's exactly where I thought it was. You are not at all far from the Calvin Coolidge Historical Site. I recommend you check it out.
Yeah, we'll make a little day trip over there.
It would not be much of a day trip at all. Let's Windsor, Vermont. I'm gonna just figure out your wedding weekend here for you. 1 second. Calvin Coolidge Historic Site. It'll be a 9-hour walk, but a 44-minute drive.
That's doable.
You got to go around. You got to go around some woods up there. You take the missus to the Calvin Coolidge site, and it'll be very romantic. You get to
fireworks, I'm sure.
You get to walk through this tiny little house where he took the oath of office. You get to see what they call the oath of office room. It's very cool.
Basically an aphrodisiac, taking your loved one there.
Yeah, no, I mean it was a horny experience.
Yeah, nothing gets the people going like Calvin Coolidge.
He was a very boring man, which is what I find very interesting about him. I'm fascinated by Calvin Coolidge. He's an interesting fella. He's interesting because he wasn't interesting. Governor of Massachusetts. I don't know if you knew that. He would take the train in from Northampton. And President 31 Herbert Hoover, who also sucked. He was not great. So you go Harding, bad. Coolidge, underrated. Hoover, sucked. Check it out. Joe also mentions that California was the 31st state. If we want to go 50-nifty on us there. Let's see. I guess we had Chair Cam making an appearance during the Dawn Report. We have some people now questioning if we should have played late breakers after the segment ended. Now, the old rule was once the Dawn Report is over, once you get out of the initial Dawn Report segment, it is not considered a late breaker.
Yeah, we can't tarnish the great Dawn Report.
Well, I feel like that would be an insult to Jeremy's legacy if we did that. We have to play by his rules. Now, I disagreed with the rules.
Of course, naturally.
Always. And I confronted him at the time. And I'm not trying to go to dong jail. I've been let out of dong jail. This is a one-night parole for me being let out of dong jail. We can't be doing that. 617-779-0985. Howard. Hello, Howard.
Hey, how's it? How about Calvin Schiraldi? Never forget that number 31 in the 86 World Series was all slipping away from us.
Yeah, I wouldn't forget that one either. That's a good one. We missed that one. That's not great. Here's one that I definitely should have got. How about Ryan in the car? Ryan, number 30?
Fellas, how about the fighting Jose Offerman of the late 90s, early 2000s?
Jose Offerman not only fought somebody as a member of the Long Island Ducks, he was also involved in the very famous Tim Cheetah play. Jose Offerman also led me to want to fight Jimmy Williams when I was an 8-year-old. I went to the Cambridge Side Galleria, and Mo Vaughn had just signed with the Angels, which was a devastating childhood trauma for me. And we went to an autograph signing, and there was Jimmy Williams, Jim Corsi, and Lou Merlone. And I went up to Jimmy Williams, little 8-year-old pudgy, fat Matt McCarthy, and I waddle up to Jimmy Williams, and I give him my glove to sign. And, he kind of, what's your name, all that. I say, Mr. Williams, who's going to play first base this year for the Red Sox? I miss Mo Vaughn. And he kind of gives me like we signed Jose Offerman. He could play first base. We've got Daubach. And I was so mad when he mentioned Jose Offerman. And then Lou was sitting next to him. Lou chimed in. He said, hey, I can play first base, Skip, kind of thing. And I looked at Lou Merlone with daggers in my eyes like, that's Mo's spot. Don't you dare suggest that you could play first base, Lou. And that's, That's when Jimmy Williams and Lou Merlone devastated poor little 8-year-old Matt McCarthy because they were not Move on. It's a hard moment for me. 1999 All-Star Jose Offerman at second base where he belonged. Hi, Sean. How you doing?
Good, Matt. I actually had three, but you guys figured out the King Griffey Jr. one. But there's also Nathan McKinnon, 29, and Brodeur, 30.
Brodeur's a good one. 30 is a good goalie number right there. Strong goalie number. Why do people keep saying Doug Marabelli? I think we've confirmed. How about an Ichiro 31? That's a good one. We can't go to 32. What are we doing here, folks? I got people dropping a Zdeno Chara 33 on me. We were 2 away.
The people are out of practice, Matt. They're out of practice.
We can't be doing this. This is the Dong Report. We got rules. Damn it. We got rules.
Did you know that Jimmy Williams and Ted Williams, distant relatives?
I did not.
That's what Wikipedia says anyways.
I'll believe. You see that Ted Williams footage that came out that Jeff Passan released?
We'll do that later in the week because I watched that in detail. You talk about borderline erotic.
I have not watched it yet. I might go home tonight and take my pants off.
Yeah, I mean,
pleasure myself to this Ted Williams audio talking about hitting. Video talking about hitting.
It may be the most clear video of Ted Williams you're ever going to see. I believe Jeff Passan was the one that tweeted it out.
I will be checking it out. 617-779-0985. We'll continue to take your dong numbers, your dong data. We are out of practice. It's okay. We didn't get the Hannah report tonight. We didn't get our 50 nifty United. Joe mentioned it was California, but I didn't get dong data on California. I don't know what would have come in before California. I'm going to guess California probably came in around like 48 or 49. I'm going to guess Oregon probably welcomed into statehood around the time of California. Washington would not have been. I'm going to guess, 48, 49. That's like bleeding Kansas territory out there. It's like Little House on the Prairie type stuff. It's like California was a state. Louisiana would have already been in there. Maybe Texas. These are just random guesses. States.
Wisconsin was 30, California 31.
Okay, what was 29? Wisconsin would make sense, yeah. So it's going to be somewhere in the mid, like an Iowa type of situation.
It is Iowa. The Field of Dreams, Matt McCarthy.
Field of Dreams, man.
1850, California was made a state.
Yeah, it sounds about right. And I bet you Wisconsin was about 1849. And
48?
I bet you Iowa was 48 as well. So was Oregon already a state by then, or did they come in later? I mean, this is the beginning of the Oregon Trail, Skaz.
Oregon was made a state February 14th, 1859, the 33rd state in the Union.
Feels late. Feels late for Oregon. There were so many people settling there. Going to cry in a start.
Territory was organized in 1848, officially became a state in 59.
Well, it opened for settlement in 48 because that's when the trail began. And we've all played the Oregon Trail.
Have all died of dysentery multiple times.
We have. It's all very, very exciting stuff. All right, we'll continue. 617-779-0985. It's McCarthy in for Joe tonight.
Sports Hub headlines.
Dongs. Adley Rutschman went deep for the first time.
On to Fitzpatrick Field. Take a lap. Seagulls lead 4-0.
That might even be worthy of playing the gong again, Skaz. I don't know if we have that because this was not measured. It was the only dong of the night that was not measured. Thank you. I don't care what anybody says. That was the long dong. That was one of the longest home runs I've ever seen hit at Hadlock Field. It went on to the football field beyond it, Fitzpatrick Stadium. That was close to, it was in the upper fours for sure. Joe Adele had the 455 in the major leagues. Roman Anthony had the longest dong of the night anywhere in professional baseball. And that's the story. That's the story this evening is Roman Anthony was unreal in Portland in his return. 2 for 2, a homer, a single, hit it 108 miles an hour, and he worked 2 walks. 4 plate appearances. He reached all 4 times. He looks ready to me. And, there is now understandably a groundswell of Red Sox fans, chanting, bring Roman Anthony back right now. It looks fine to me. Everything looks good. I'm not bringing him back tomorrow. Give him a few more days down there. But the point being, honestly, if he plays tomorrow in Portland, and they were talking about, maybe, and he only played about 5 or 6 innings tonight before they pinch ran for him, and he did not play the field. So, I do want to see all of that. But over the course of the next few days, I have no problem if Roman Anthony is back out there this weekend for the Red Sox. He should be.
Do you need him to play the field?
I think you do, because I think you're better off without Duran.
I mean, I'm just not sure the difference is that great. If Roman Anthony needs to just be a DH, I'm absolutely fine with that for the rest of the season.
Yeah, I am too, because he's going to help the team most by hitting.
And he's not a great outfielder.
He's not a great outfielder. Duran isn't a great outfielder. They're both awash. They're both below average left fielders. I trust Anthony to make the routine play. Like, I trust Anthony to track a fly ball more than I do Jarren Duran. A ball hit at Roman Anthony in October, I am more confident that Anthony's going to make the play than Duran. But if he needs to come back as a DH, that's fine. Not to mention, too, because Yoshida's hurt, and based on what Tracy said, well, it doesn't sound like Yoshida's going to be back anytime soon. Sounds like a relatively significant hamstring strain. So you need a left fielder and a DH. If Anthony can be either, that's good. He did speak with the media after the game. I found something he said interesting, Skaz.
Yeah, it was great. Like I just said, they showed out and, as expected, as they always do. So, I feed off of them. I love our fans. They're passionate. So, great to see them here in Portland. And I think it's just great for the game. We're so lucky that when we're in Portland here and when I was here in 23 and 24, this place is the spot to be during the summer. So, it's awesome.
$3 Deweys tonight, Roman Anthony. That's my spot in Portland. My guess is he's going somewhere a little nicer, and not that Deweys isn't nice. It's great, but it's a dive bar. I love Deweys. Gritty McDuff's. Something tells me he's at 4th Street. He's at Central Provisions. It's a great place to be. They better not keep Roman Anthony in Portland 2 line. They better send him to Syracuse, man. You don't want to lose that guy. Well, he's not there with Marcelo Meyer anymore, so maybe he's a little bit more focused. Skaz, thanks a lot. Derek, I don't know if I'll see you later on this. So thank you for everything you did this summer. We're good? All right, because I'm not going to be back I'll see you tomorrow. Anyway, I'm in tomorrow. Have a great night.